Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? We are live here, another episode. Quincy is here as well. We are live here for another episode of a watch along. We're here with Starrcade 92. Mr. Dan Mirade will be joining us momentarily. And Quincy is off to the side. We'll probably see. He'll be back with us in a second. So this is Starrcade 92 Battle Bowl. Funny enough, this is kind of interesting. Starrcade 92. And it's got a picture of Lex. Well, no, sorry. That's just a Starrcade picture. You're going to go, I believe the link is already on the live chat. Let me just double check that for everyone. I'm going to be able to say hi in a minute. So,
well, I think we have some good. Where is Quincy?
Oh, Quincy just went into the dark room over there to the side.
He went into the loading dock?
Yep, loading dock. So,
well, fans, thank you for joining us. We're not talking about Din Fan. Be seeing him soon enough, just 13 nights when we kick off our live programming from the Sunshine State. We're going to be getting ready tonight, though, for LIVE Live Starrcade 92 action. If you're with us on YouTube, the WWE Network, what the fuck happened to my computer? The network link is there. We're going to try and chit-chat for a few moments as we just keep the camera on, Charlie.
Hey, Kevin, what's going on?
Yeah. Who are you talking to?
Kevin is in.
Which one?
I don't know, it just says Kevin, not Kevin Petrantazzi.
He would have got the monster explosive.
No.
But Sean, we have a few Kevins.
Sean Afshar is in. Big Dan in the house.
Sean, I recognize Sean's name. Who else?
Just those two. Kevin.
That's it. All right. Well, it's a very lonely night here on Starrcade 92. We're going to build it up. We're going to have some fun. We got some news on Party with Marty. We got some news on the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. We got Quincy Rastani. We're going to have fun. There's no wrestling on. There he is. Well, you know what? I think maybe we should share with the fans. There's a little bit of good news and a little bit of bad news.
As he walks on the camera.
Well, the bad news is Eleanor Rastani was hospitalized.
Well, she's better now.
Well, that was the good news.
Hey,
Eleanor was out of the hospital.
Yes.
Quincy was able to enjoy the 20th anniversary extravaganza. And you're in that letter that Al Snow wrote, he said that Patera kept the back door unlocked for you.
Well, what more could one ask for?
Well, not really, yeah. To have your brother keep the back door unlocked.
A letter on the wrestling. That's like.
What more could one want?
Phil, how's it going out there, my friend? He's in there too.
You know,
Matthew Holland, how's it going?
Oh, Pat, since you're the ED in there, would you mind? Oh, he switched to the hard camera for us. Isn't he smart?
Thank you,
now I'll still have to. I'll be embarrassed that my old man pillow will be exposed.
I would like to say that the other night.
Yeah. Tell us about what you thought about the 20th anniversary extravaganza in your purple shirt.
I thought it was real good. You know, I sat with the wrestlers.
You sat with Phil all night, I saw.
That's
drinking your milk.
Well, it was a very special night because first of all, like you said, I sat with one of the wrestlers.
Yeah.
But I would like to bring to everyone's attention, very important.
Yeah.
First of all, once I got settled in with that milk and crackers, that is in the refrigerator. And
Quincy, why don't you move down a couple of chairs behind me so the fans can see just a little bit of you.
Sure. But what makes this night even so special, that a very special fan sat with us.
Yeah.
But one from the older crowd. You know what? Older people are wrestling fans too.
Well, that's nice.
One here was with a walker.
Really?
Tanks, but she chatted with us all night long. Just took to us.
What did you guys talk about?
She took to you?
Well,
now, in what way?
Took to us because she somehow found out, not only that she found out about the wrestler, but she found out about yours truly.
Yeah.
And so she kept asking a few questions. And that's right.
Did she offer to keep the back door unlocked for you?
No. We're talking about the wrestling show.
I'll be right back. I'm going to spit out my gum.
And, but
wait, was this? Was this at the wrestling show?
I'm going to listen to you.
Okay. We'll tell you this when you come back.
Oh, I'm just going to spit out my gum.
He's going to go get a piece of gum?
All right. But
I just spat out my gum.
Not only did she enjoy the show, but later on, she went to have pictures taken of all the wrestlers, okay, in individuals, and then I guess in groups.
Yeah.
And then with us now, and then she comes up to me and said, "You too. I would like your picture."
Oh, Quincy, your friend Phil is right here in the room with us.
And
you can't see him, no, but he's
okay.
He's
Phil,
typing.
Can you talk about your experience with Quincy at the show?
He got to go to Rastani Estates.
And the wrestler goes.
The back door is open.
It was.
Yes. the fan would like to have your picture taken with us, of course.
You took your photo with some fans.
Well, this one here sat with us, and
she sat with you.
Well, like I said, she was a bit of the older crowd.
Yeah, an oldie, but good. She had an oxygen tank.
With
really?
a walker, oxygen tank. But you know what? They're wrestling fans.
She was lucky she made it out. Well, we thank this lovely lady for joining us.
Well, and she said, so she took our picture with us. The son, was like, you're very welcome.
Yeah.
And she enjoyed the show. She's like having fun with the crowd.
Well, the fans wanted to know, Quincy, did you interact with Piggott at all?
No. We just more or less.
You didn't want to deal with that piece of garbage?
No. Come on. This is like about the show.
All right. Keep going, baby. Keep going.
I would like to get into some of the moves. I got
some of the moves.
The moves.
Oh, the moves. I'm sorry.
I got a compliment now.
The wrestlers were good.
Well, I'll have to say the opening of this was awesome.
Yeah.
I forgot the name. What was the name of the opening? With 20 wrestlers come in.
That's called a battle royal, Quinn.
Battle royal. That is so awesome.
The Franklin D. Churchill Memorial Battle Royal, as a matter of fact.
What?
The Franklin D. Churchill Memorial Battle Royal.
Franklin D. Churchill.
In honor of our first president that died.
That is the Franklin D. Church Battle Memorial.
Yeah, close, but you got it.
But you know what? It is so awesome. I mean, all moves are good, but this one here, I got to give this one credit where it's due. Because it opened the show. 20 wrestlers come in the ring. And you don't see that for an opening very often.
No.
And I guess the way it was set up, 20 wrestlers go in. One wrestler goes into the center. And you know what? It's awesome. The way the wrestler repelled off all 19 wrestlers. Whew! That's that a great opening act or what?
Quincy, what I want to know is, could you compete in a battle royal? You and Al as a team.
I'd have to practice.
I enjoy seeing that.
Would it be like the Iron Sheik in WrestleMania 17 because they couldn't get him over
any wrestling move? We got to tell the fans, do not try this at home.
No, especially Den fan because he wasn't there.
I'd have to practice with all the wrestlers on how to do something like the battle royal so I don't get hurt.
Quincy, I think you need to participate in an over-the-top rope battle royal.
Could you imagine him and John C. and Captain Lou in a battle royal?
Well, let's not go too far now. But
maybe next time around, we can go back in the ring like we're supposed to, have fun as we help these kids because it's priceless.
Yeah.
When you go into the ring and work with the wrestlers.
Yeah.
And you can't put a price on that.
You can't.
And it's fun.
It's like your meals. It's priceless.
All right. Well, the wrestlers.
Quincy.
Fans.
Quincy, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Did you pay Phil gas money to take you home?
If he wants it, no, I didn't request it. Get requested that.
Okay.
I didn't live that far, but it was a stormy, rainy night.
I met your sister.
Did you hustle, Phil?
No.
I met your sister. Was that your sister who dropped you?
That's
Julie
right.
Earl.
Billy
Earl
Earl
brought me over because someone forgot to come and get me. Well, the next time we'll look into that. When someone supposed
don't
to
expect
come to my house,
it, Phil.
they need to come over.
Yeah.
But
now,
we'll talk about that later.
You know what one of the fans said they wanted to see? Quincy versus Piggott in the last man standing match.
Well,
would you wrestle Piggott?
No, I don't think Piggott wants to wrestle.
To be fair, Dan, that'd be more like a last being because neither one is really, no. I mean, not Piggott, but Quincy's a man of sorts.
Would you wrestle Piggott maybe in a private room at the Red Roof Inn?
No. Right
Neither
now,
would I.
This is just a clean cut. All the moves were good, okay?
Yeah. Piggott's moves?
I'm going to talk about...
well, Marty said that Piggott was flirting with him.
I don't know.
I wasn't there. I don't know.
Right now, we're talking about a group of wrestlers. I mean, all the moves were good, but from the
I've seen very little of it, Matthew.
We got a compliment on tag team. Now, tag team, is that awesome or what? When a group of tag team wrestlers go into the ring. Now, is that awesome when a group?
Yeah. Quincy, do you prefer tag team wrestling to singles wrestling? Because I think it's
hey, Teddy P, how are you, Paisan?
But no, I love all the moves.
Wait a minute. Phil, you saw some of this flirting.
You know what? You know what's also awesome? no matter what the kind of moves they got.
Yeah.
I love it when they open up and say tough guy. It's like, it's awesome. It's like, oh, you think you're so tough? Well, I'm tough. Okay, it's awesome. It's like it's
Quincy almost looks like he's having a conversation with
I thought it
someone.
might have been the Teddy P. Teddy, you were great. I miss you already. Thank you very much for everything.
God bless Quincy. He's a gentleman. Someone just wrote.
Oh, thank you, fans. Thank you. I think it is so awesome.
I think you need to push a little this way more, Quincy, because you see you're coming out of the screen.
Quincy,
no, the other way.
Quincy,
right.
we could.
I think it is awesome. The way the rest.
Quincy's actually more out of the screen now. No, there you go. You're good.
And say, well, you're tough.
He kind of looks like he's coming out of my shoulder.
It's an awesome lineup.
Like it's green screen.
And then,
like a deformed freak in a freak show.
But you know what's also
Tell us, please.
The way that the wrestlers flipped, they must have did like a double flip.
Double flips.
They went on top of the ring, and then they did a double flip and went down hard, and they landed the right way. And then another wrestler did a triple flip, just like
Lots of flipping. Now, who was your favorite, Quincy? Did you have a favorite?
Oh, I can't have favorites. No.
Why?
It's not playing.
Oh,
no, I can't.
Quincy, may I interject? Dan, is our friend okay from earlier in the week?
He's home.
He's home,
and he is recouping.
Okay,
so that is good news.
Good.
One of the wrestlers was injured, Quincy.
Yes.
They had a concussion.
What happened? Whoa.
They had a concussion, a very serious concussion.
Guys, professional wrestling it's entertainment for sure, but it's very serious and very real.
You don't have to go that far.
And Dan had
he got a concussion
from doing this show.
From wrestling, yes.
What happened on the head or?
Well, that's where you get a concussion normally, not in the foot. Yeah.
Well,
Quincy, have you ever been concussed?
Well, why don't you tell me a little bit? What hospital did the wrestler go to?
He went.
Quincy, it's done now. He's home.
I gotta take. This is important. You know what? This is where he probably went to Melrose in there for a couple of hours, and
he went to, I believe, the Med Express in Malden.
The Med Express in Malden,
yeah,
and got quickly treatment. And then he went home to recover. I mean. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, that you don't try this at home.
Yes.
You have to leave this to the professionals. I was also noticing now, the wrestlers and I were talking, that the youngest that the wrestler can enter the ring, that wrestler couldn't any more than 18 years of age.
I think you would have to be 18, Quincy.
Well, the wrestlers in the world of wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, this one here, in the opening lineup, that wrestler couldn't have been any more than 18 on the short side of wrestling. I guess they call them on the shorter side of the wrestlers.
What's that now?
Well, this wrestler was, but that really doesn't matter, short or tall.
Yeah.
But why don't we say he was on the younger side?
Yeah.
19 years of age.
BMF, imagine having him screaming in your ear.
Well, I guess it takes maybe 2 or 3 years of schooling in wrestling.
It depends, yeah.
Depending on the wrestler, how well experienced they are.
I mean, some people could do it in 2 months and be great. Some people can go for 4 years and be awful. I've seen it.
Well, it all depends on how old the wrestler is and how experienced they are, right?
Yeah, it depends. It depends on how quick you can pick it up,
Well, it looks like Quincy's going to jump out from behind and go, boo.
Well, every day is a school day. Especially in the world of wrestling.
Yes, that is true.
Because you gotta watch out. Be careful how you fall, how you do this. It's everything.
Quincy, who are you looking at?
Well, I'm looking at the camera.
The camera's that way.
All right. Okay. All right. Then
the red light.
Why don't we try this?
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
All right.
Quincy, you look like a wombat that's coming out of the jungles of Dan's background.
I would think, as I was saying to the wrestlers the other night.
Would you rather sit next to me, Quincy? And that might be a little bit better. Because I might give you a little bit more on my side.
I would think that there's a script to follow.
Sit next to Papa Charlie here.
Thank you.
No problem.
Much more info to come this week on that, Chris. Maybe we should announce another superstar tonight live on the Watch Along.
You could do that, yeah.
There's a script to follow in these events. Each time they come out, if you don't follow the script, then it's not going to work. And I love it the way when they come out, come on, you want to start something? Let's go. I'll go right now. I love it the way when they start yakking it up. That's a lot of fun. You can hear the background of the wrestlers. It's so much fun when you can hear about, come on, I'll go right now. I think it's so awesome. Isn't that fun? The way they open up, when open up the act, and isn't that fun?
Well, I mean,
I have no idea, Joe.
I'm going to say it is.
They have little interesting things to worry about in their existence.
I love the way they do that. Don't you think?
Considering I've never met them or never mentioned them by name.
What was your reaction?
My reaction to what?
I love it the way when they open up. Come on, you want to go? Let's go right now. I'll go with you right now.
I thought you were talking to someone invisible for a second.
The way they open up the act, right before.
Well, I like wrestling. You know what I miss? When the babyface would kind of put up their hands and they would do the come on. No one does that now.
Quincy would do it.
Quincy would do it because Quincy knows how to be a babyface.
He's got on that pimpin' purple shirt.
Well,
why are you wearing this shirt on Saturday?
He knows the Godfather's coming.
I just happened to get this, out of a pile. Nice.
How much was that shirt, Quincy?
Oh, I don't like the end of that right now.
No, the fans want to know. You have quite the
just
style.
A nice shirt, okay? Just a nice outfit.
It is. It's a nice Ralph Lauren polo.
He doesn't want to make anyone feel bad.
No, I don't want to make nobody feel bad.
What about the pants?
It's a nice outfit.
He hustled. I'll tell you this.
Okay,
this week he
nice
hustled.
He
hustled a free turkey this week.
Yeah.
Did you get a free turkey?
Because I do charity work, so I get to, I get to go somewhere.
He's a hustler.
It's not hustling, okay?
Well, I didn't get a free turkey.
Well, then you have to go somewhere.
I do a lot of charity work. No one gave me a free turkey.
Getting back to this now, I love the way they open up, with these lines, and from the way they play tough guys, like, come on, we'll go right now. And then they, they start with a flip, to triple flip, or they call it the triple landing. What else can they open up with? The way they jump on someone, all the moves are good. What move do you like?
My favorite wrestling move? I'm a fan. I was talking to one of the people on the show. I don't know if I should say their name because they were they were.
I would.
We can't play flavorites.
No, we can't play flavorites.
Well, I was talking to a wrestler who was on the November the 13th show, and he was talking about moves that he had on a trading card.
Yeah, on a trading card.
On a trading card.
Yeah.
And I said, "How about you do a double axe handle? No one does the double axe handle." And he looked at me like I had 6 heads, and I'm like, "Well, maybe you'll learn one day, kid." But he lost that match. And you know what? Maybe if he had done a double axe handle, maybe he would have won the match. What do you think, Quincy? You like the double axe handle?
Oh, I love the double axe handle.
Yeah, that's a good
double axe. How's that go? It's like
You love the move, but you don't know what it's like.
Well, there's so many moves.
So the double axe handle is you jump off the rope, the top or second rope, and you have your hands like in an axe, and you jump up and you hit the person in the top of the head with the axe.
Okay, right.
Maybe that could be Quincy's finish in the Battle Royal.
Could be. But Quincy, if you go to the top rope, someone could push you off, and you could go outside there. So you have to be careful.
Of course you have to be careful, because we don't want the wrestlers to get injured. Someone went to the ER the other night. And that's what we need to prevent. Again, this is a very dangerous sport. Ladies and gentlemen, these are very well-trained professionals.
Also, Quincy, I would give you, don't try to headbutt John C. His hair acts like a big cushion.
What do you mean?
Well, John C. has all that hair, so in a battle royal, if you wrestle him, he's going to use that head to hurt people. His headbutt is killer. And then Captain Lou sneaking around the ring, You
can't trust Captain Lou.
Yeah, Captain Lou is one sneaky guy.
That's the world of wrestling. The opponent sneaks up on you. We were just talking about hairstyles the other night. These were good-looking hairstyles, and they were asking me like,
"Oh, I love some of the hairstyles. I did."
It's a Cosmo. It's a Wrestler's Delight, and I think that was done by Cosmo. They were asking me like, I think they had to go to a Cosmo to have that done. It's a Wrestler's Delight.
Well, so Quincy, you had a good time overall?
Yes, I did.
You gonna go to the next show?
I'll try to make it. I think if everything is back to normal, and I hope it is, we should be able to go back to normal.
I got a question for you. How much did you spend for that slice of pizza?
I don't want to brag, but you know what? Someone gave me the.
So tonight you got a free meatball sub.
Well,
you got a free turkey this week. You had free pizza on Saturday.
Because I do work for the wrestlers.
Well, I did work with the wrestlers too. No one brought me any pizza.
Well, that's how it is. Can I help with I'm good. What can I say?
That's
That's what she said.
Quincy's a good promo too.
He looks almost like he belongs with the Godfather.
Phil
tonight,
thinks
like
he'll be
pimp.
driving Kurt Angle's milk truck, but I said he'd drink all the milk.
Well, I drink milk. It's a specialty. Now, we love milk. Gotta have milk.
What kind is your favorite? 2%? 1%?
No, just plain regular milk.
Okay. Chocolate milk or just the regular milk?
Most of the time regular milk, but sometimes I will drink chocolate.
Quincy, I'm glad that we were able to put your milk in a refrigerator. I didn't want your milk to get spoiled while it sit on the floor in Memorial Hall.
I want to thank you for that, too.
All right.
I quickly settled in.
I think, you know what, the fans, they would enjoy Quincy and Marty together, maybe for a Patreon exclusive episode.
Well, what do you think this is? This is exclusive.
Well, Marty's not here right now. He's in Florida.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, they can text.
Or he can text.
Well,
let me ask you this, Quincy, and I haven't even asked Charlie about this yet before we begin Starrcade 92, the point of contention. Will we be live next Thursday night?
It's Thanksgiving.
So?
You want to do what you want to do before Thanksgiving?
I forgot.
How the hell are we? Wait, Quincy, I think it's up to Quincy. Can you make it next Thursday, Quincy, for the watch along for Starrcade 93?
I'd have to talk things up. They might let me go out because they know that.
Well, we really don't have much else to do.
Well, they know that how important this is to me.
Yeah, it's very important. You got that letter from Al today.
That's right.
Do you want to read the letter to Al, or maybe
Snow
not?
gave you a letter? He sent you a letter like Santa? You sent
he faxed it to the
this
studio.
Is a wrestler's letter.
Let me read it. Can I read it?
I can get the letter. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay,
I don't know if we should read it on the air, though, Quincy. I don't know if Al wants it on TV.
Right, maybe not.
He can read it himself. He just can't read it out loud.
I won't say. Is it typed?
We can read a little bit. How about that?
No, I think maybe we should keep that private. Dear Lord. Dear Lord.
A little bit. How about that? Give me 2 seconds.
Oh, gosh.
All right, wrestling fans. With that said, we do have some news kind of breaking. The link is going to be, I believe, in the comment section below. We are trying to keep Marty Jannetty's show alive. Unfortunately, I think we're down to 3 episodes, with the last being December 2nd. So that's not good.
I thought they'd be a couple more weeks after that. But...
No, we're running out of time.
Well,
financially, we need your help to keep things going. We got some great prizes, some great rewards, even in-person experiences. Check out the Marty Jannetty Indiegogo. On top of that, 13 nights away now, it's going to be the kickoff in Tampa, Florida, baby. The Sunshine State's calling my name. Did you get the info yet or no?
The info on what?
If you were going to join us, or if you were just going to...
I cannot because it was.
They told you no.
No, because the schedule was main time. But there's the next trip.
All right. Have you texted the gentleman that? So he can join this.
Yes. Well, hold on one sec. You lost me, Charlie. What is the?
You asked if I was going to be able to join you in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm not able to.
Well, all right. Well, we're disappointed.
I am disappointing. I know.
Now, what is the other thing you were talking about?
But the next trip.
Oh, the one after. Well, you're going to plan ahead of time.
We'll plan ahead because I feel like I can't plan two days in front of me, so I got to plan months ahead of me.
Oh, well, fair enough. Fair enough.
You text the wrestler.
I texted the wrestler.
What
does the wrestler say?
Says you're unbelievable.
So
he wants to go live with you.
Well, then read some of it. You can read some.
No, don't read
I will not read it out
loud. Texted me. He said, "Don't read it out loud." But,
all right.
Let's get this Starrcade 92 party started, wrestling fans. If you go to the link that is on this page, it'll take you right to WWE Network on. It'll take you to WWE Network on Peacock, and we'll watch Starrcade.
No. I just want to say it starts out very nice, but then it quickly turns into different directions.
Well, Al can be.
It's a nice letter.
Yeah.
When you get letters from Al Snow, it's awesome. Any wrestler.
Yeah. It was faxed to you.
Well, when you like to get a letter from the wrestlers?
I wish someone would write me a letter.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, hey, what can I say? I'm good.
All right. Wrestling fans, head on over to Peacock now. I am going to start this watch along. We are going to enjoy Starrcade 92 together.
Yes, very nice, very nice. From Uncle. Oh, I shouldn't say it.
You can say it.
Well,
you can say Uncle
He's
Al.
my friend, our friend, Uncle Al.
He's Quincy's best friend.
Like I said, he did bring me into the wrestling business, and I met, you know what, a lot of fans, and a lot of friends in the world of wrestling.
Now, what about Din Fan?
Dan.
Did you ever meet him?
Who?
Din Fan?
Alex.
Yeah, I met a lot of
worked with him
in this business. You got to remember, the wrestlers live a lot of different directions.
All right, Quincy, we're going to start Starrcade 92 fans. If you are in the Starrcade 92 link on the Peacock TV on WWE Network, go to Starrcade. I believe you'd have to go all the way to season 10. It was the 10th Starrcade. Starrcade 92. We're going to do what we usually do. We're going to go 3, 2, 1, play. Click that little sideways triangle. Let me start this from the beginning. All right, fans, are you ready? We're going to do it together because we are all friends here in this room, joined by the great Charles Wilson, MWF associate, as well as Quincy Rustani, the Goodwill ambassador. All right, we're going to go live, fans, in 3, 2, 1, play. All right, here we go on WWE Network for a little Starrcade 92. Whoa, as I trip over the wires.
Dan, quick question. Do you think
Battle
Al is more proud about his work with the match with Pepper, the dog, or breaking in Quincy?
I know Al would like to team with Quincy. I mean, they would have been a formidable team at Battle Bowl. But what if they got drawn on different opposing teams?
Quincy, and the spirit of competition, if you get Al Snow to be your tag team partner, I will find a pro wrestler to be my tag team partner, and we can have a match.
I would have to learn how to do an easy move. I don't want to get injured.
No.
Maybe like just give me a shove, a push, something like. And that'll be
you want to push already?
Well, easy, because I'm not a trained. I can host the wrestler.
We could bring you down to a school. There's one a couple of towns over.
Plenty of them, yeah.
Yeah, I can maybe do a couple of pushes of shoves, but I'm not a professional trained wrestler. Maybe I can get hollered at, and I'll never forget though.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, Sean.
A long while back, when I was having a chair shoved at me, and it was part of a nap.
You had a chair shoved at you?
Well, a long while back. And a fan came up to the wrestlers.
Did it kind of bounce off of your newt?
Well, yeah. And it's like.
It did.
And the wrestler, one of the fans go, he's being threatened. It's like, it's part of the show. He's part of our team. And they're really that's right. And, but you got to remember, again, that's professional training. He wants to take part in with these things. And we will give him a wrestling move. But we know how to do it without hurting anyone. Because, again, it takes, just like you said, years of training. Depending on how old the wrestler is, what the age, how long he's been wrestling for. All
right, Quincy, welcome to Hot Atlanta, GA. It's Starrcade 92 Battle Bowl. It'll be the home of the WWE Kickoff pay-per-view for 2022. This is our friend Jim Ross, who we've had here in the studio, along with the Hall of Famer and future governor of Minnesota, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Well, look at these guys now. Look at the way they're opening up now. They're just angry. I guess that's the way it is.
Angry? But Ross looks not angry at all. Ventura looks a little...
Ross looks like one of the Campbell Soup twins.
You love talking about Jim Ross that way.
Well,
I love Jim Ross.
You don't think even the opening supposed to be a little bit angry?
I don't know about angry, but
excited.
Detailed.
Okay, excited, but let me ask you this now.
Quincy, if you ever need to take a breather, by the way, you can always leave and come back, just so you're not too excitable.
All right, well...
It's like when you take a shower at night. You run around the house naked
Do you like to do that?
Special report is brought to you by WCW Magazine. Eric Bischoff. Big things headed his way in 1993.
He became vice president of the company in 93. Now, I believe Watts is still in charge here.
Yes, he is.
But he's about to lose his job. Or get fired or whatever the case. I think a couple months
later. I don't think it had hit quite yet.
We'll talk again soon.
But he only had a few months left after this. Do you trust Charlie Quincy?
Is that a cup of milk?
Yes, it is.
Oh, he just got... Where did he get that from? Where did he take that? Where was that? You were just here and I didn't even see that. Did you have that the whole time?
Yes, I did.
Oh, God.
Now, when you leave Quincy and you go in the other room, do you plan on ejaculating?
Well,
I know sometimes.
I hope not to the glass of milk.
We're talking about wrestling here.
Right. Well, I guess it would involve a little thumb wrestling. I don't know.
Well, this is supposed to be...
Who wins in that?
Professional wrestling. Not about,
Thank you, Quincy. Quincy, is that Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, the thief himself? It looks like it.
By the way,
I wonder if WCW was giving him $55 a night.
Do you think that milk would taste better than John Cena Sr.'s Fat Bowl Pop?
I never tasted. I'm sure it's good pop.
If you ask him, he'll give you a free soda. You can hustle.
Which I'm actually interested in this. Quincy, do you have a favorite kind of soda? Do you like you like root beer?
What kind of root beer do you like?
Are you an A&W type guy? Barks?
I like IBC and Barks myself. That's me.
It's been a while since I've had
Brian D. Is that Brian Duffy? How are you, buddy?
Bill Watson, Hank Aaron of all people.
Well, look at that. That's probably where the idea came from Mark Madden for all the trouble that he started. Hammer and Hank Aaron, the man that likely should still be baseball's all-time home run leader. We won't go there.
What do you think about Mark Madden? I just saw a clip of him the other day. Mark Madden. Seems like a very smart guy, but does a lot of dumb things.
It's maybe one way. I think he's kind of one of those sports shock jocks. I don't know if he's still in Pittsburgh, but I know he was. But what a shame. Bill Watts has got, maybe some of his ideas were a little outdated at this point, but man, they made a big mistake ousting him the way they did.
Now, in your opinion, watching from just the pure product of, say, 91, 2, 3, 4 WCW against 91, 94 WWF, is there a big difference in the product itself? It seemed WCW would focus a little bit more on wrestling.
I think when Watts was in charge, they started to head in the right direction. Jim Hurd was just oblivious to life.
Yep.
Kip Frey really didn't know much about wrestling at all. And sometimes it's not a bad idea to get an outsider's point of view, but do you want that guy to be in charge? No.
I just saw a show with him in it, actually, Kip Frey. He was in one of the Clash of Champions, yes.
Oh, what show was it?
I think it was the first Clash
Oh, I
of
thought
92.
you meant something new. I'm sorry.
Yeah. By the way, phenomenal shows, some of those Clash of the Champions.
What's that now?
The Clash of the Champions at WCW.
Well, maybe we'll have some Clash of the Champion watch-alongs here on Thursday night.
Fans,
if you love the watch-alongs, the Super Chat button is open for business. The Indiegogo is open for business to keep Party with Marty on the air. We certainly do not want to have the party end on December 2nd. That would be awfully sad.
Well, sometimes it's nice to take a little break because you're going to come back to it. You can look forward and recharge the batteries.
Would you like that? Would you like to see that, fans?
Again,
a little break from Marty.
Yeah. Wrestlers, why do you think they take timeouts?
Now, what do you think of Missy Hyatt's Babas, Quincy? Do you like them?
Yeah.
Well,
you like her Babas?
Yeah.
Now, what do you like about them?
They're nice.
Would you like to touch them?
Let's keep it clean.
Well, I was about to say that to keep it clean. Was Zbyszko out of the ring at this point? By late 92?
No.
Was he still wrestling? Because he was wrestling in the Dangerous Alliance, wasn't he?
No, he may have been done at this point, and then he would make kind of a spot appearance here and there as the next few years went on.
And
I think they were kind of transitioning him into the commentary booth in late 92.
I do enjoy Missy Hyatt's work when I see
thought you were going to say you enjoyed her Babas, like Quincy.
Well, they look nice. Missy Hyatt was a very young, attractive woman. Now she's just a woman. But
Thank you, Matthew.
I'll be talking about.
Oh, Van Hammer.
Quincy, what do you think of Van Hammer?
Do you like that jacket?
Yeah.
Looks like something you'd wear. How come you didn't wear the leopard skin jacket to Memorial Hall?
I've been hearing about this jacket you have. Dan's obsessed with it.
Well, I was in the last moment rush the other night,
You were with Julie Earle.
Well, we can always wear that,
maybe on Saturday night, April the 16th, when we go back to the 80s.
Might be a little too warm for that
Jake
jacket.
the Snake Roberts. It's never too warm for that.
Okay.
Axe and Smash Demolition, the greatest tag team in WWF history. The Berserker, more great superstars to be added. I was talking to some today, as a matter of fact.
Well, maybe someone from this show might be there.
I'll have to look at the lineup. Danny Spivey certainly.
What a haircut!
Looks like he missed the gym for a month or so, or a few, or not in the greatest shape we've ever seen. Danny Spivey, not very solid.
He was pretty much done a few years after this. By Whalen Mercy time, he was pretty much.
It was still good 3 years later.
But 3 years seems like an eternity for a wrestler because so much can happen to you in 3 years.
And that's what happened when he was in Japan. He got one down. Now, who do we have here? Cactus Jack Manson. Another man that's been here in this studio. A gentleman.
They built him at 300 pounds, I think, and I never could see 300 pounds.
I'll be back. And I will check in.
Good. Thank you, Quincy.
Please, Quincy, come back and maybe some other.
April 16th is George Steele's birthday, but we'll have to have a special salute to him with the legends.
my
There's
man.
your favorite, Mark Merrill.
I love Johnny B. Bad.
Oh, Johnny B. Bad. I'm sorry.
I love Johnny B. Bad.
Wrong promotion. And they wonder why sometimes the commentators get the names mixed up when they go from company to company.
You know, funny enough.
Looks like Quincy when he gets excited right there. A little explosion.
Well, funny enough, Johnny B. Bad was in the light heavyweight division. And
God.
It's funny.
And right now he'd be one of the bigger guys in WWE.
I'm watching the match. It's like, oh, Johnny B. Bad's 235. That's the maximum limit for a light heavyweight. And it's like 235 now is a big guy almost.
I'm going to guess it wasn't a great crowd in Atlanta for them to dim the lights.
Well, this was a Watts thing. Let's dim the lights so no one can see people. And that's how it was in the 70s. You look back at the Omni in the 70s and they dimmed the lights then.
Well, I was very disappointed. I tried to get a nice light rig set up for Back to the 90s event on November 13th at Memorial Hall, but the price was just, I couldn't believe it, how much it cost.
I thought the lighting wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it's not that good, though. That's one of the problems with Memorial Hall. For all the fees that they like to charge, that animal known as Piggott.
Well, April the 16th might be maybe a send-off at the Hall.
You never know.
Never know.
We are looking at some fine institutions to house our shows, but you know what? Melrose is our home. It would be a shame. Dan, when you die, an angel will bring you to see Jesus. Well, thank you. I hope so. I'd like to visit with Jesus, get an explanation on why this life has been so insane, but big clothesline from Van Hammer on Cactus Jack here at Battle Bowl.
Can you ask him why you were watching Cactus Jack and Van Hammer with Charlie Wilson? Oh, great.
You know, of all the questions I would ask Jesus if I had the opportunity, I don't know if the Starrcade 92 watch along would come up.
Maybe the Starrcade 91 watch
Maybe
along.
that one. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Actually, no, I did have one idea for a watch along, and we're in November to remember.
We could do that. If wrestling fans, would you enjoy a little ECW watch along?
Now, Van Hammer gets, well, I was going to say he gets a bad rep, but maybe
there's a reason for that, as we just saw seconds ago.
But he had a job forever, and they put a million different gimmicks on this guy.
Well, you know, he was gone and he came back. He wasn't there for the duration.
Was he the one? No, that was a different guy. I was going to say the Yeti, but
no.
He
wasn't
that was Ron Weiss, I think.
Not to be confused with David Reese.
Oh my God! I just spiked him on his head. David Reese, yes, who would talk to people about getting spiked on their heads. But Johnny B. Bad looked great. Van Hammer looked great.
Some interesting texts coming through the line.
And from interesting people?
Yes.
I feel like there's not a day that goes by where you don't have an interesting problem that occurs.
Today, just like I said, that feeling in the gut kind of type today.
Well, you know what it is? I think you can only, unfortunately, kind of control how you are, and sometimes the problem itself is out of your control, and that's really not.
You know what? It's going to be an interesting close to 2021.
Is it going to be almost like a hobble into 2022 or a run?
What's that now?
Is it going to be a hobble or a run?
Oh, it's going to be like a mad dash into the new year. With all the guests we have coming up, fans, are you familiar with the fact that we're going to be live in 13 nights with WWE Hall of Famer Gerald Briscoe and what I'd have to think is future Hall of Famer Dutch Mantel, a.k.a. Zeb Coulter, the manager of Jack Swagger.
Jack Swagger, I think he's in Lucha Underground now. He won their championship, I think.
Jack Swagger?
I think so. I saw he was in Lucha Underground.
He's in AEW.
I think they let him appear.
Oh, that was nice of them.
I think so anyway. I'm not sure 100%. You know, one of the wrestlers on the show I got to talk to, he mentioned going to AEW. He'd like to go there over WWE. And I think that's an interesting pick.
I think sometimes you have to look at the numbers on the paper, or if you even get the offer to begin with.
That's true.
It's like saying I'd rather win mass millions than megabucks. Sidewalk Slam from... he's looked more dangerous in the past. Danny not in the best of shape, but...
And that mullet was certainly not in great shape.
Hell of a mullet. I mean, does he look a little on the...
Also, it didn't hurt that he was with two guys who looked better than him physically, particularly Sid and even later Mark Callis, Taker. Undertaker. They both looked better than him physically.
Well, when he was in good shape, I mean,
yeah, I feel like
he looked great.
The Spivey of 89 and 90 looks better than the Spivey of 92,
yes,
I'd say.
I think that's very safe to say. I think anyone with eyes would make that judgment. But
he looks like a more out-of-shape Barry Windham, and that's saying a lot.
Sad. I don't remember him ever looking that bad.
Well, he got covered as Waylon Mercy, right? He was covered.
Yeah, he had on the white tank top.
No, this is interesting. Is Van Hammer a baby face and Spivey's a heel? And Cactus is a heel, and Johnny B. Bad's a babyface?
No, I think Johnny B. Bad was still a heel at this point.
He was a heel. Oh, I thought he was always a babyface.
No. Yeah, Sean, I don't know if you've seen any of the past episodes we've done with Dutch, but a lot of fun, great guy, easy to work with, which we love. It'll be great to be with him in the Sunshine State. Dutch will be with us live, I believe, in the evening on Wednesday, December the 1st.
Scale of 1 to Terry Runnels. How would you rate it?
What's that now?
Scale of 1 to Terry Runnels. How easy is it?
We're not talking about garbage trash. We're talking about a pro in Dutch Mantel. Please. And Jerry Briscoe will be with us earlier in the day on December the 1st. So what a way to kick off the new month. And there's a potential third guest that day. He's trying to work his life schedule around it so he can do one of the afternoon sessions.
I'm just gonna say the crew you got down there.
Lazy Bum. How are you, my friend?
The crew you've got working with you is going to be quite tired by the end of it.
Blue Dater and Din Fan.
Yes.
Well, it is tough to hit record on the camera, considering I'll have to talk through 12 episodes, plus 3 live cyber signings. But, they'll be tired.
Well, they're going to be having to do a lot of work before they hit record on the camera.
That I cannot say. Din Fan is a man that is well known in room 211 at the MGM in Las Vegas.
With the girls from Tinder, I hear.
John the Baba! Oh, you're going to Mania, baby? Well, maybe we'll meet there. And I don't know if you go to WrestleCon. I don't even know if I know as an organization we're going to be at WrestleCon, but we're also trying to do Wrestle House 3 in Dallas, so I'm not quite sure where I'm going to be. I would like to do a meet and greet with some of the superstars that have appeared on our talk shows. I think that would be kind of fun.
Well, the cool thing
I don't know if I'd be considered a star by any stretch of the imagination.
I consider you a supernova.
Well, thank you.
But I would say the one thing about that area is, or that time, is that everyone in wrestling seems to be at that one area.
Lazy Bum, just so you know, we are just at the end of the first match, which was Dan Spivey and Van Hammer defeating Johnny B. Bad and Mark Mero, with a shot of coming up a Missy Hyde in her babas, as Quincy calls them, that he loved.
I didn't even know Quincy had an interest in the babas. Or an interest in anything.
Quincy's enjoyed the gentlemen's clubs in Providence a few times.
Oh, jeez.
He squeezed the babas.
Did the gentlemen's clubs enjoy him there?
Did the what?
Did the clubs enjoy having him as a patron?
How could you not?
Well,
in moderation,
yes.
Quincy's a lot of fun.
The first 15 minutes of Quincy is great.
After that,
yeah,
it's a different story. There are the babas as Missy spins the wheel. Who will be the next 4 competitors? Scary Michael Capetta looks on in the background. That's what Quincy looked like behind me when he was out there earlier.
Oh, the my boy Dustin. A few of my boys are in there.
Where's that thief, Tony Atlas? I thought we saw him earlier.
They told him he wasn't up. Oh.
Uh-oh. Look at Holly rushing out. He wants the payday.
Were they in the same room, just 2 different areas of the room? Johnny Flamingo, Raven is there.
Right over there.
Raven, we got Pillman and Zank.
Abdullah the Butcher.
Vinny Vegas, Kevin Nash. Got Eric Watts, Shane Douglas, Scorpio and Bagwell. And you got kind of a who's who.
Yeah, it is kind of a very impressive grouping.
It really is.
Here's the thief. Tony, come on, baby. Pay the money back. Don't be a thief. Make God proud, like the cross that you wear that your wife made for you. There's a bad man in his prime right there.
This was Vader in his
prime.
prime.
Late, great Vader, Leon White, had him right here in this very studio. Holly Race, his manager, we had here in this studio.
Vader seems like a very soft-spoken man.
The ring announcer, Gary Michael Capetta, has been in this studio. Just ask Cecil the Lion. And Goldust, Dustin Rhodes, appeared on live events. So other than Nick Patrick, Everyone in that ring has been is an alumnus here.
He also appeared in a car.
He did more than appear in the car, but anyway, you'd have to talk to. Well, we have not had the Barbarian as of yet.
He went to WCW in '92.
He did. He had a very short run before he went back to the WWF as Sione of the New Edge Rankers.
Oh, who is this guy?
Guy, yeah.
No, what was his name though? Wasn't he with that tag team with Hawk in Japan?
I believe so.
I forget his name.
Fujinami.
No, that's not.
It's not Fujinami.
No. Who is? People
that Japanese guy.
People in the chat, please tell me the name of the Japanese fellow, as Terry Funk would say.
Well, Phil, if you want to hear a story about Tatanka and Worcester, wait until you see Party with Marty tonight at 10 o'clock. And you have to remind me, Charlie, I still have to upload that, so it's ready for 10. So maybe in between the next match, I'll attempt to move quickly into the other room.
Okay.
I'll leave my wallet here because I know you're being recorded and you won't steal anything.
No, I would never steal anything from you.
Well, you're a trusted individual. We have quite the promotion coming your way here in the Boston Wrestling MWF, from what President Reese told me. From all your hard work on Saturday, you're going to have an official title, being an associate.
Oh, what's the title? Kensuke
I have
Sasaki.
no idea. That's right. What did I say? Fujinami?
Yes.
Well, I was close.
Yeah.
Barbarian's still looking badass and in great shape right there, too.
Oh, now, do you think... I'm getting the sense that one does not want to bump for the other. One does not want to sell for the other.
Well, Leon was a top guy at this point. The Barbarian certainly was not. He was in the top heel little faction that they had going on, but him and Tony Atlas were more like the undercard guys of the faction.
Well, Tony Atlas,
I wonder if he stole anything from the Barbarian. I know at one point the Barbarian and Tony Atlas tried to rent a car, but neither one of them had a credit card. And Kevin Nash had to bail them out when he was Vinny Vegas. So props to Kevin Nash
for
being one of the brothers. That's what this brotherhood is all about. Kevin Nash didn't have to do that for those two. He wasn't great friends with them. He did it out of respect to the veterans. Big scoop and a slam from Vader on the Barbarian.
Now, do you want to disclose?
The Barbarian might try and go for a tag. What was that?
Do you want to disclose what Tony stole from you? Have you disclosed
money, friendship,
deposits,
and money.
Yeah.
For live events, for artwork, for podcasts, cyber signings, you name it. Tony got it, baby. He ruined a friendship that could have been cash flow every month for a one-time ripoff. It's called complete and utter stupidity. But anyway, Vader showing why he is badass, looking decent even with the Barbarian, who you could say was, I think, fair to say, past his prime at this point. Vader was just great at this point. I know we laugh sometimes about his ring gear,
what do you think?
But I mean, just such at this point, such a great athlete to watch compete.
WWF got him a hair too late.
Whoops. The kick was a hair too late too. But
I feel like these two did not want to do anything with each other for some reason.
I don't think they got... I'm going to disagree with you. I think the way they wanted to present Vader was a way that confused Vader. I know there were a lot of issues when he worked. I think the first problem he had was when he started working the house show loop with Warrior, and he was doing clean jobs every night. He wasn't accustomed to doing that. He was shocked, I guess, that they would expect him to do that. And I just think it was he just wasn't a fit for that company. Not everybody is.
I have to say this. If there's one thing...
little Hot Foundation action right there.
If there's one thing that I think Vader enjoyed in the ring, it was beating up Ric Flair. Because I saw some of their matches, and Vader looks like he enjoys pounding on Ric Flair.
I think he liked working with the guys he could lay it in on and not have to worry. I know with Hogan, he said on the interview here at the studio, which is available on the Boston Wrestling Patreon family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Full screen access to a wonderful studio shoot interview DVD. But he did say when he was working with Hogan, he said it felt like he was having to hold an old man's hand.
Well,
which isn't, I wouldn't take that as a compliment if I was the Hulkster. But
I think Flair, I remember I watched a match in early 90s WCW. It was the Steiners against Luger and Sting, and they were talking about, I think Flair had just left or was just about to leave, and it was this new generation of guys. I think Vader was in there. He was in this new generation of guys. They worked a little harder. They worked a little stiffer, maybe. They worked a little bit more athletically inclined, and I think it was a generation that was kind of surpassing guys like Hogan and Flair in a way. Brett would be in there, Shawn, guys like that. Just seemed like it was a different generation, and Flair and Hogan were still kind of from the 10 years previous. But I think that Hogan did look like an old man, and so did Flair. You look at Hogan and Flair in 94, 95; those were not spring chickens.
Well, I mean, I guess the point I'm trying to make is when Vader was working with Flair, he was laying it in.
He was, but I think
when he was with Hogan, he felt like he was fragile. He had to hold back.
Well, I think he didn't have to worry about Flair going to bury. Maybe Flair didn't have the power that Hogan did.
Well, Flair had a lot of power in that company. But Flair was the type, he was worried about the quality of the match. Hulk Hogan, for better or worse, professionally, and personally, I think he is outstanding from the appearances we did with him. But professionally, I think Hulk Hogan is far more concerned about the Hulk Hogan brand than any particular match or event.
Well,
Flair was always about the match, the show, that night, that moment.
Right.
Hogan's thinking long term. What are we going to do with the Hulk Hogan brand?
Right. There's actually a segment I saw. I think Vader might have talked about it with you, where he would traditionally Hogan's opponents would beat him down in a segment to lead to the match, and they would always leave Hogan laying. And then in the match, Hogan would hit the move and no-sell it and come back up. They did this segment in the ring. Vader hits him with a move, and Hogan gets right back up. And it was before the match. And it's like Hulk knows better. That kills Vader. And who wants to see that match now? So,
and it was, they did multiple pay-per-views together.
The Dungeon of Doom angle was all to put Hogan at ease.
Well, Vader wasn't part of that at that point. I'm trying to think. They did February, March, May, not June,
Dungeon
July.
Doom started from what, like?
So they did it. They worked 4 pay-per-views together in '95 before the infamous Vader and Paul Orndorff incident took place.
And then, the Dungeon of Doom angle. Oh, you're right, because Dungeon of Doom started right around that time, going into '96.
When they turned Leon babyface, when they turned Vader babyface, that was the beginning of the Dungeon of Doom era. Because Luger replaced Vader on that War Games team in September of '95, when Vader was fired to face the 4 members of the Dungeon of Doom. So I don't think he ever was part of it or ever worked against them.
But he was just
him and Flair were kind of attached at the hip until they turned Vader babyface.
And Luger was kind of a heel somewhat.
He was kind of a tweener for a while.
But
and
he was being
actually
savage.
Some of his better work, to be honest.
Yeah. I think Lex in the early to mid-'90s wasn't,
Well, we disagree on that. But that, I'll say, in that era when he first came back, in the early Nitro days, the wrestling is what it is. But as far as his mannerisms, his promos, his work was very, very good early on, in my opinion.
And then arguably, his most over year was '97. He was over.
See, the thing with that is, that's kind of tough because everything in the company was over at that point. That's like saying in '98, oh my God, there was big money in Val Venus and The Godfather.
Well,
they were part of an entire package.
But Lex Luger was a top guy.
Yeah, fair enough. He was definitely top 10. Super Brawl 3, witness history in the making at the biggest event of the year. I thought that was Starrcade. But what do I know?
Well, I thought it was Starrcade 2 for them.
Can you handle the beginning of the next match so I can do that upload?
I can do that, yes.
Matthew JTG. He is in Boston often because he has a child here. We're definitely going to do a cyber signing next time he's here. I just can't tell you when because I honestly don't know. I hope it's soon as I love that guy. He's so easy to deal with, such a pleasant human being. Him and I got a couple of years on him, but we became fans right around the same time. So we kind of like the same kind of wrestling and dislike the same kind of wrestling. So with that, I'm going to pass the baton to Charlie. I will be back in a few moments.
Yep. All right, guys. So
Don't do anything inappropriate like I would.
won't. Oh, we got Barry Windham. Barry Windham, one of the world's greatest wrestlers, in my opinion. I was watching, maybe we should do the show one day, the first Clash of the Champions from 1988. Barry was just something else. We've got Barry, who's, I don't know who, Too Cold Scorpio, and I don't know who the second one was, but we're going to pick Brian Pillman and Scorpio against Barry Windham, and I forget, guys, I don't. Yep, we got Windham, and who was his tag partner? Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it. Let's see. Who is his tag partner? Guys, what do you think of... Wait. And this is Brian... Okay, so Scorpio, I think, this is before they did Bagwell and Scorpio as a team. And I think Pillman might still... Was this before they did the Blondes with Pillman in Austin? Oh. Muda, okay. All right, we got Muda in here. Muda was kind of something else at this point. Muda was kind of in his prime. I think maybe the Mystique of Muda had kind of, been rinsed off a little bit since his initial debut in '89. Nick Patrick is there actually with no mullet, I think. No mullet for Nick Patrick. He's gotten rid of the mullet. Good for him. Stepping into the 90s the right way. Barry Windham, I don't know if this was probably, oh, geez. It's a big, big bump there. I would say this was all four of these guys roughly in their primes, maybe a little bit after for Barry. Barry was kind of getting a little bit up there in terms of his, not his age, but just seems like he was kind of aging a little roughly. But this is Pillman probably at his prime. Scorpio, I would say Muda's here in his prime. Maybe Wyndham's right at the end of it. What do you guys think? Anyone that you liked particularly out of this match? It looks kind of like a dream match, to be honest with you. I can't believe Nick Patrick doesn't have a mullet now. I can't see him without the mullet. I've been watching a lot of Nick Patrick, and always with a mullet. Oh, gosh. Pillman had such a great drop kick. Fantastic drop kick.
I'm not back. They had to send a code to my phone.
Oh, okay. Match isn't too bad so far.
No, it's wonderful.
I was actually just saying these guys are all four in their prime at this point. Maybe
it looks like a pretty good match.
Yeah, I mean, Muda and Pillman were definitely in their prime. Scorpio was young. Wyndham was kind of at the end of his prime, his peak years. He's starting to kind of get a little bit bigger here and worn down, but he was still able to put on a really good match. But I think 1992 Barry Windham or 93 Barry Windham is still better than probably like 80% of wrestlers out there. So, I mean, it's kind of like he could still go. He just probably got a little bit heavier. Pillman was something else. I don't know if anyone watched The Dark Side of the Ring out there. If you did, let me know how you felt about it. I've been watching a couple of the episodes. I watched Pillman's, and he was just something else. He was a different kind of guy. I think that's the best thing you could say about Brian Pillman, or the most accurate thing. He was just a different kind of guy. Fantastic wrestler, great character, was one of those guys who blended the lines of reality. It'd be amazing to me if he had lived a few more years. I think he would have been one of the biggest stars of the Attitude Era. I think he had the charisma, he had the work. You know, if his injuries weren't so bad and he was able to live a little bit longer, I think he would have been a huge star. Oh, gosh, great kick by Muta. Again, Muta's right in his prime here. He moves so well, and he's not a small guy, too. I mean, Muta's probably 6'3", maybe 220 pounds. Muta was really a bigger guy doing all this stuff. Oh. Scoop and a slam by Scorpio. Oh, big splash. Big splash, big splash. Pillman left. Yep, damn shame. Pillman did leave too soon. Pillman was friends with the inventor of hammer strength equipment. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Pillman was in phenomenal shape. Looked like he definitely spent a good amount of time in the gym. I think his downfall was definitely that car accident with the Hummer. Isn't that crazy that people actually wanted Hummers back then? And like even 15 years ago, I never really got the idea. I'd rather get an Escalade. I don't know what you guys would rather drive. I'm going to drive a big SUV like that. I'd rather drive an Escalade or a Tahoe or something, an Expedition. I wouldn't get a Hummer, but he really liked having that Humvee back in '96. And he was still able to get a contract with the WWF after that. So, you know, he really, I mean, if he had just lived a little bit longer, he probably would have been filthy rich. To think he'd be dead 5 years after this. You know, I think, too, watching some of the older wrestling that we've been watching here at the studio, and I actually like to watch old wrestling on my own time, too. I just watched a couple of Clash of the Champions from this time period. One thing I really liked about the wrestling from this era, the 80s and the 90s, is you had guys who, and I want some feedback from this, too. You had guys who could wrestle and do the spotty athletic style, but they seemed to be able to slow it down and temper it and sell a little bit more and let things register, let things breathe. And there seemed to be a little bit more, it's like if someone talks to you, they're not just doing run-on sentences. They would let things register and let things breathe for a little bit, and they would let you kind of take things in. And I don't think the wrestling of today really does that as much. I don't know if I'm wrong on that or if you guys feel the same. Oh, moonsault. Well, kind of missed. So were Pillman and Wyndham partners at this point? They were tag partners? Agreed, Charlie. Wrestling today is geared for the ADD crowd. You know what's funny, Phil? I actually have ADD. And to be honest with you, a great wrestling match, I can focus on it. A bad wrestling match, my mind wanders. And again, some of the wrestling, you know, it happened a little bit on November 13th. Sometimes I'd watch it and I'd be like, oh, geez, you know, they're doing all this. And when the match would slow down a little bit, it would get my attention. So it's unfortunate, but sometimes the guys, as athletic as they are, they just don't know how to temper it. I think Ring of Honor about 10, 15 years ago did a really good job. If you watch some of those shows, the main events especially, they would do spots, but they would do a lot of wrestling and working holds, and they would do a lot in between it. And it was kind of like this sort of modern day NWA, UWF Mid-South style with a Japanese influence. So it was a really interesting time to watch wrestling. I have some of those tapes, and I could watch those matches because they tempered their high spots and their fast-paced wrestling with slowing down and letting things breathe and register. Oh, God. Dr. Death. Phil, is Dr. Death going to sell anything today? What do you think, guys? Think Dr. Death's going to sell today? Or is he going to say, fuck no? Ah, Quincy!
How we doing?
We're watching a match. We got Sting. I love Sting's attire here. The blue and the white looks great.
Well, okay. Let's see what we got. We're just acknowledging some of the...
Sting looked great here. This was Sting in his prime. I would say physical prime for Sting, probably 88 to 95. I think the Crow was a maybe more deep character, but I think as the Surfer, he was at his physical peak in terms of how he looked and how he moved.
Yeah. All these wrestlers, the way they look, the way they move, are they going to start doing some of the chair moves?
The chair moves?
Well, like we were talking about some of the moves earlier previously. Is this like something where they bash each other on the chair with, you know, with the head of the chair? Or?
I'm not too sure. So, quick question, guys. Were the Battle Bowls works? Like, did they know who they're going to get ahead of time, or it was just a complete, like, shoot where they didn't know? I feel stupid for asking that question, but some of these pairings, like we've got Dr. Death and Sting against Eric Watts.
It's not a stupid question.
And Jushin Liger. Very weird combination of tag teams.
I mean, like I said, a lot of the moves are good, but...
Everything doesn't work, Charlie. Thank you, Phil. Sean, to answer your question, who do I like being around? So I loved... Now, if you're asking me who was my favorite person to be around, I got to talk a little bit to Trey Lamar, and he was pretty cool. He was a cool guy. I liked him. I got to talk to Quincy Rastani for a little bit. Captain Lou on the camera. You know, John C. was on camera work. I got to talk to him. I got to talk to a few different people. Phil, life is a work.
Well, are they going to do that, or is that coming another kind of round? The chair move?
Oh. I got to watch this. I'm not sure. Oh. Liger and Sting. This is kind of a cool matchup you wouldn't notice. I don't know if New Japan ever did this. This is kind of cool. Sting is towering over Liger at this point. Just towering over him. But I think this is a cool match. I think if Sting could have a great match at Muda, I think Liger could give him a great match too. I think the size difference would be interesting. Oh, gosh. Phil, Dr. Death's not going to sell for Liger at all, is he? Oh, God. Yeah, Liger's getting out of there. He knows Dr. Death's not going to sell for him. Oh, Eric Watts. Look, you got a couple of nice arm drags. Oh, okay. That's enough. You're right, Phil. Poor Liger. Liger knew he wasn't going to get anything in there with Dr. Death. Did Dr. Death sell for anyone? Gordy, Misawa, was that it? Like, did he sell for anyone? The more I watch him wrestle, the more I'm like, was Dr. Death even... He just didn't want to sell for people. I mean, he barely registered Liger's offense.
Now, where's this being held?
Bart Gunn, that's a good one. This was being held in Atlanta in December of 1992. So the man that is in the red trunks with the white boots is Dr. Death Steve Williams. And the man with the red trunks that just got out of the ring is Eric Watts. Now, this is Jushin Liger. Oh, gosh. Liger, get yourself over, brother. Oh, gosh. Phil, why didn't Liger stay out of the ring? Oh, wow, he let him Irish rip him. Oh, geez. Oh, okay, let's see what happens. Oh, ooh. I don't know why Liger did that, but he did that. Dr. Jeff, tag out to Sting so we can actually work it. There you go. So Sting's now in there.
He's a move now. We're talking about
That's
moves.
Sting.
This guy's gonna. These are the moves you have to be careful of, ladies and gentlemen.
Those are very hard moves to do and very dangerous moves to do. Yes, sir, Quincy. Now, Quincy Rastani, do you like Dan Mirade?
Oh yeah, Dan Mirade. He's a funny guy.
He's a funny guy. Yes. Oh. This is also interesting, too, because this is a New Japan versus All Japan thing here. I think Williams was definitely doing All Japan at this time, and Liger was the big junior heavyweight star in New Japan. So this is kind of a weird, I wouldn't say dream match, but this is like an interpromotional thing. So, which may be reason why, well, Dr. Death probably wasn't going to sell for Liger no matter what, given his size, or, well, just because it's a person, but. How would Sting have been booked in 2001? Probably a little bit better than, say, DDP or Backwell. I would say, honestly, he probably would have been booked okay overall compared to other guys, but I think that he was smart to take the money. I think it actually added to his legacy that he never went there, to be honest with you, because it made him stand out. It was the one guy who never went. I still think if he had gone in 91, 92, yeah, maybe you could say he's a Warrior knockoff, but he would have been the guy for the 90s. They might have buried Sting then, honestly. Compared to everyone else, though, Phil, I think he would have been better off, but he still wouldn't have been that great. I mean, I don't see Sting going over Rock or Austin in 2001. I don't even know if he goes over Jericho or Triple H. Well, Triple H was gone at that point on injury, but. And by the way, whoever built this match, Dr. Death is just not doing any favors for Liger. I think even Sting tried to work with Liger a little bit, but Dr. Death, my God. Nope, Liger gets to the ropes. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to write your favorite thing about Dan Mirade. What's your favorite thing about, what's the one funny thing that you could think of what Dan Mirade has said, or something that you think is funny about Dan, or something that you just like about him? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. I think he talks kind of funny. He's got a funny accent. Well, Wrestling Inside is with Dan Mirade. Just got such a funny Boston accent, right?
I guess we'll give him a comment when he comes back.
Do you have a good Dan Mirade story, Quincy?
Yes,
Oh, finally, Dr. Death might sell for. No, that is not going to sell for Liger. No, all right.
I'll have to say one of my favorites is one when we first met. We did a show a long while back, and I got requested to go sing a song by the Doors. I guess when someone was getting a heart transplant, This was like when I first met Marty. The kid made it through the heart, transplant into the hospital. It was like kid couldn't have been more than 2, 3 years old, maybe 5, 6 at the very latest. He's laughing like thinking he's going on a friggin' merry-go-round, right? No, you're going to the hospital.
Oh, geez.
And I got requested to sing a song, Touch Me by the Doors, during the intermission. And the kid made it through.
Touch me, baby.
Come on, come on, come
Come
on.
on, come on, touch me, baby.
Can't you see?
Oh, gosh.
I am not afraid. And so the crowd loved it, and then I guess, that motivated the crowd, motivated the kid. And I guess the story has a happy ending, that there was enough money raised that this kid went to the hospital to get the heart transplant. And every story is different, but that was like when I first met Dan Mirade. And so I got requested, because everyone found, I heard you can sing and dance. So go to the guy with all the music and go request a song, go into the ring and sing a song. And
oh, wow. That's cool. That's cool, sir.
it was like, that's one of my favorites.
Phil is a Doors fan. Yes, I like the Doors too. Alabama song's a cool song. By the way, to everyone out there, Dr. Death, because every time I watch this dude, he never sells for anyone. So fuck him and his giant roid belly. So fuck Dr. Death. If anyone else wants to write fuck Dr. Death, please tell me in the comments.
And I went into the rink, and I had fun there. We were doing some moves and just having a good old time. And the kids, I forgot what the need was, but they went to the hospital for something. Whatever it was, they made it. 95% of the time, these kids get what they need. There's enough money involved
Fuck Dr. Death. Thank you, Phil.
that the wrestling team has the patience to deal with and the heart to deal with. So I guess the bottom line is the kids appreciate what the wrestlers do for them, especially this time of year, because the wrestlers take time out of their busy schedule to answer their needs. I guess what it comes down to is they send letters or make phone calls or both to the world of wrestling. And they says, can you help my kid out to he has to go to the hospital to get what treatment is, and the rest will say, we'll do what we can to help them. I guess they make it 95% of the time. So it's like they have to appreciate what the wrestlers do. Again, we just make it look easy. Well, it's not. They have to come in from wherever they live. The show gets set up at the ring. Get the audience in there, make the moves, collect the money, send the kid to the hospital. And I guess, like I said, most of the time they make it. 95%.
Ooh, that's a cool flip. That was a cool flip.
Depending on what the problem is. Was another cool flip.
Yes, very cool flips. What is this? This is that was Muda. Well, without not being Muda, and that was oh gosh, who is that? That's oh geez, who did I just watch wrestle? Mudo and oh gosh, guys, help me in the comment section here. Who did I just watch wrestle on the screen?
I don't know. I know there's a lot of these names. So many names.
A lot of names, yes. A lot of names. A lot of names.
Okay, what's it?
Masahiro Chono. That was it. Chono.
This one is the Great Muta.
Great Muda, yes. The Great Muda. Cena Senior for 24/7 champion. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that Carney freak gets himself into a WWE show and wins the title. Phil, thank you for watching us. I would like to be watched all the time. I do some kabuki-ish things. Ooh. Do you like the rampway, Quincy? Do you like the ramp, how it goes right to the ring?
Yes, I do.
Would you rather have us do that, or do you want us to walk on the ground and then we get up on the ring at our shows?
What's not to like? Do you like the rampway? I think it's colorful. The way
just takes more time to put together. It's more work.
Well, then I think we got to keep it simple. That set the ring itself up and then just climb into the ring.
Did you like our ring?
Oh, of course, I like the ring.
So, guys, a little tidbit about rings. We used a 16x16 ring at the November 13th show, which I actually like a little bit more than the bigger rings. It seems to be a little bit better for the guys to bump in, and it seems to be better for the smaller wrestlers. Makes them look a little bit bigger and gives them a little bit less room to have to cover in the ring. Running the ropes, for example, you have to, there's more strides in between when they run the ropes, and it's a big thing.
And the fences?
Yep. Great ring, angular ring post. Yep, Phil, I'm a big fan of the WCW style 16x16 rings, southern rings, bumping rings.
I mean, whatever's the easiest to set up and take down, or whatever works. Yep. You have to realize, ladies and gentlemen, these rings, how long now does it take for an average ring to put up for a show?
It just depends on how many people are doing it.
I mean, I guess I will have to go with the simple ring. Because you got to limit yourself to half an hour to put that ring up, okay? And then you have to get these people in, seated. That about a good guess?
Yeah, I would say so. Now, any fans out there of New Japan at this time? This was in the 90s. You had Masahiro Chono, you had Great Muta, you had Shinya Hashimoto. And the other side, you had All Japan. I never really got into Japanese wrestling too much in the 90s. I liked the New Japan style a little bit more. The All Japan style to me seemed a little bit more. They did a lot more. They didn't seem to sell things as much, at least the way I like to see selling. Sometimes they would do selling well. Other times you'd see a big move get hit. No one would sell it. They'd pop right back up. Muta's face paint's already off. I don't know. I just never could get into those All Japan matches like I hear so many talk about.
Well, what's your favorite if you don't like Japan's?
Quincy, do you sound like Rosie O'Donnell, you think?
Not really.
No, what doesn't? Coughing up a storm over here.
Well, I had a stressful week.
Why was it stressful?
Well, because like I said, we
were did your mother have to go to the
hospital? We were all.
I'm sorry.
I think we were just stressing knowing she was going to make it back. It's like angry, stressing. Angry, it's like she's going to be all right. But we were on standby.
I'm glad to hear everything's better.
Oh yeah, we're all better now. Now it's just like. Now, see, these are the fences. You got to include time to set the fences up.
Well, they're not the fences; they're the guardrails.
The guardrails, okay. So now, the rings that you guys set up, they're nice rings, but you have to account for time to set the guardrails up. Okay, now, so all that gets set up within half an hour.
I would say so, yes.
So you have to count that, and you get trained to get thrown into the guardrails. I mean, the fans like it, but again, you get trained for it. You chase each other around, say a few words. It's all a different opening act, but these are good opening acts. The fans like it. But I guess every opening's designed differently.
You could definitely say that.
I mean, that's the kids like it, the parents like it. It's designed, like I said, good entertainment, but it's a script, written and to be followed. Now, here's an interesting move right here.
Abdominal stretch by Masahiro Chono.
This is like a lock, a headlock. Just look at this now. Now that's a back slam.
Who do you think is going to win this match? The guy in the blue or the guy in the white?
Hard to tell. It's really hard to tell, like in most of these matches, who's going to win. Who is the bad guy? Who is the good guy in these matches? I guess the fans like the bad guy and the good guy, but that's half the fun of wrestling. You have to like the bad guy, but you have to like the good guy, right? The bad guy gets booed, but the good guy's like, but again, it's designed, for either way, right?
Well, I would say so. Do you want to watch a wrestling match with two good guys or two bad guys, or no? It has to be.
I think it's designed the way I picked up on. There's one good guy and there's one bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
They'll applaud both of them when they enter the ring. But I think the way wrestling's designed, that one guy is a lousy guy because the way I've been doing this, one guy's always who the hell you think you are? Come on, it's like.
Yeah.
And then like the other guy,
Would you always now if Al Snow was a bad guy, would you cheer Al Snow?
Oh well, yeah, you gotta. He brought me into this, and he introduced me to all the wrestlers.
So you're loyal to Al?
Oh yeah. You gotta be loyal to Al Snow because he brought me into this, and he taught me So the way I look at it, don't play too many flavors. But Al Snow, Uncle Al brought me into this, and I met all the wrestlers pretty damn quick, and became real good friends with them. And then you learn about the business. It's like, so the way I look at this, bad guy, good guy, but it's designed,
Mm-hmm.
It's just designed. You can't have.
What do you like in a good bad guy, Quincy? Tell the people what you like in a good bad guy. Be right back.
The way that I guess they knock it's like, it's like, this is the guy. I'm here that, the way they back it up, I'm here that, the way they tell their stories. And then the guy takes the microphone. Oh, yeah, well, I've been doing this. I sell all these goods and I have all these lines from the bank, And then they got just one way it's designed, just everything about the way it opens, the way they go into the act, the way they fight, and the whole thing is good. The moves are good,
Mm-hmm.
But I was also told now the other night when I was with the wrestlers, you pace yourself. These matches, they're going to last now for 5 minutes. Some matches are going to last for 10 minutes. The wrestlers have to learn to pace themselves.
Right. That's true. That's true. Sometimes you can actually tell how long a match will go depending on the pacing of the match.
That's right. Because the wrestlers have to be able to last for these shows go on for about an hour, a couple of hours, right?
All right. Quincy, let me ask you, who are your top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time?
The other night, I guess some of them were there. The one that I sat with.
You sat with a pro wrestler?
Well, come on. You heard that.
Phil?
Yeah.
Phil's a professional wrestler. I know he trained a little bit at Kowalski School. Did he wrestle much? Phil, did you wrestle a lot? Drink your water, boys. Okay. Did you wrestle much, Phil? Did you have some matches? I'm dying to know. I always enjoy Phil's company and his time.
Oh, I had fun with him the other night. He's a very nice guy. We sat together. I mean, like I said, I've met these wrestlers.
Did he have a comfy car for you to drive home in?
So he did.
Good.
I explained that, however, I drive a motorcycle. Like, all right. But you've done a lot with the motorcycle. Not everyone has a car. I mean, well, a lot of people have cars. But
Excuse me for yawning, people. I'm a little tired. I've had a long day.
Of course, because you have to get up. Like I said, these wrestlers live in different directions. Get up. They fly. They come in here, set all these things up, and then we have to put the screens up, talk about the show. Then they have to go back to their hotels. Then they go back home to where you live. Again, they just make this look easy. You have a right.
Right, they do. Dear Lord, what am I looking at? Dan, I don't know. I'm just trying to watch Muda and Jono Quincy has joined me on the commentary. We're trying to keep a hold of things. Oh, backdrop by Muda. That's a big move, isn't it? The backdrop. That's a scary move.
That's a scary move.
Phil, do you remember a Tony Roy? Like watching Rain Man. Well, they're not too far off. Do you like the movie Rain Man?
I haven't seen it. I've heard of it, but
You heard of it? Okay.
But right now, like that, I've been just busy, doing this, just get ready for the holidays, and I've heard of it, but
You think that move hurts? That move hurts. That's an Indian deathlock, I believe.
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, that hurts.
You can hear the slapping. Just the other night we were talking when they slap him in the back. That's gonna hurt. You can hear the slap, but that's gonna go with the territory. Sometimes.
Do you think chops hurt?
Well, yeah, they're trained to like.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get hit with those hands. Those big mittens you got. If you haven't seen Quincy's hands, everyone, they are like ham hocks. Look how. Show the people at home how big your hands are. Look, do this with your hands. Do this. The claw. The claw. Look at the claw. He's got the claw.
They're trained. I'm just demonstrating.
Look at that. Look at that camera and just show your hands up. Look at the claw right there. He's got. That's a big mitten right there.
Now again, I was just demonstrating a couple of the wrestling moves. Showing the fans how it works, and saying it hurts, but they're trained to take it, so the fans can hear. Now, when they slap them, chop them.
Nice snap suplex by Chono.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see who wins this match.
Hard to tell. That was a good flip.
Nice kick by Chono. I mean, by Muda, excuse me. Looks like Muda might have hurt his knee a little bit. Smack Dan. Would you smack Dan with those hands?
If we get a little bit angry.
You get a little bit angry? Is Dan, now, if Dan ever tried to break into your house, would he come through the back door, you think?
No. I know. He's got this thing with the back door.
Did you like the time we went out to teach Dan, you, Marty?
It was fun.
Did you like Socko?
What's Socko?
Did you like the guy's name was Matt? He has the crazy socks?
Oh, yeah. Well, again, there's a lot of nice people in the wrestling business. He met where's he live? Not from around here. He lives
Socko is from Connecticut.
Now that's about 4 hours away from here, wasn't it?
Depends. I don't know exactly what town he lives in. I don't know. I thought Socko was a little gruff. I thought he was a little unpersonable. Impersonal.
What do you mean impersonal?
Seemed a little mean.
Well, he's an angry wrestler. Maybe he had a lot on his mind that night.
Maybe he did.
We were on his good side. That's really all that counts.
True. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get in his bad side. He wasn't a small man, that Socko.
Well, most of these wrestlers, come on now. These are 6 foot, X amount of pounds.
Yep. Bigger than me.
Well, every wrestler's different. Now, you're built, but like I said, the wrestlers are nice guys. And the thing is, you stay on the wrestler's good sides. They can kid around to a point as long as they know we're just having fun, toying around a little bit.
Phil says Socko recognized him. Phil, when I say Socko, Socko's got I realize Socko's got a very monotone voice and he doesn't seem super warm. So I always take that as someone being a jerk, even though that's probably not the case. But he's not exactly Mr. Friendly. Socko was the ring announcer for the day. He wasn't a wrestler. Matt Hall and Paul Bear would come out of the urn. If he came out of the urn right now, he would probably slap the hell out of both of us. And Matthew Holland, I'd really also I'd love for Quincy to smack Dan because I think it'd be hilarious.
No. We'd have to set it up. You go into the ring and set that up. Now But I guess
I try to be.
A lot of fun I had.
Thank you, Dan.
The times I was going into the ring, announcing the products. That's like a lot of fun. Maybe,
Yes. I heard I gave you the microphone.
And that's a lot of fun. It's like, would everyone return to their seats now? The intermission's over, so everyone return to their seats.
What do you think of Neil Manolian?
He's a good guy.
The good guy. I like Neil a lot. Neil was essentially the #1 man at the night, and I was the #2 man there at the building. I was the #2 guy there.
Well,
Charlie versus Q-Dad. Oh, I don't know human manipulation. I don't know if you want to see Quincy and I wrestle. We're friends. We don't fight each other.
I think more or less I would like to get into going back into the ring, introducing the products. Maybe fling a T-shirt around the two like we did before. That's a lot of fun. You hand me a list, and we'll say, all right, now who wants to buy this? They'll hand me a product. That's a lot of fun. During the intermission, you got my. What isn't fun, but that's a privilege right there. I get one wrestler wouldn't like the fun of going into the ring and then they're introducing the product. And I've seen them sometimes they will throw a T-shirt out to a kid that really wants it.
Gosh, I gotta say this: Chono's STF looks a lot better than Cena's. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Also, did Cena Senior do that move to Cam Zagami, or did you not see that?
I probably saw it.
I don't remember him doing that. I heard he wanted to do it.
Well, a lot of the moves they wanted to do, most of them they did, but maybe they didn't do a couple.
Jesse Ventura's jacket. Do you like his jacket?
I do.
Would you wear a jacket like that?
I don't know. I guess I like the dress jackets.
You like the dress jackets?
Yeah. Beige, black.
Now, Dan has been telling me about this leopard print jacket you have. What is it? Where did you get it from? And
the place I gave it to me, don't forget where it came from, but maybe I better not say where I got the coat.
Was it a big store?
Fans gave that to me.
The fans gave it to you?
Yeah, at the place I've traveled to in my time.
What about this guy's jacket? Do you like this man's jacket? It's about to get in the ring. Rick Rude is right here. No mustache. Rick Rude looked so much more handsome without the mustache, I think.
Well, yeah. Some like the mustache. I happen to be just like clean cut shave. But some people like the mustache and the beards. But seriously, I don't want to really mention where I got that.
Excuse me. Phil, Mr. Cena Sr. is a Dollar Tree classy Freddie Blassie. He's ashy and just he's so disgusting, that Cena Sr. I swear. He's always up to no good. And one day you fans are gonna know what that is. I don't know what it is exactly, but he's always up to something, sneaking around with this. Look at this. Who would put this and sell this to people? Fabo Pop root beer?
What's wrong with the root beer?
Well, it just seems so sleazy to sell his own root beer.
Come on, it looks like an innocent bottle of root beer.
You think this? Let me show the fans this picture. You think this man looks innocent, people? Look at this man.
Well, he's a wrestler.
Up to no good. What do you think about Rick Rude? Do you like his jacket?
Yeah, it's a nice looking coat.
I like the jacket. I love Rick Rude. I think he was great.
That's an angry looking wrestler on
a
bottle.
He was angry looking, wasn't he?
But again, it's supposed to be set up. I got a compliment at some of these mugs. Look at the way that some of these mugs, they're angry, but you know what? It's a nice looking setup. It's designed, for people to look at, sure, that's an angry looking guy, but he put his name on the bottle. I guess he'd sell the root beer. We were just talking about that the other night, where some of these drinks came from. And, I guess he knows what he's doing enough to get his name on there, sell the root beer, and that's just how it is, right?
I agree. I understand what you're saying.
Maybe one night we'll try one of those bottles of root beer.
I don't know if we're allowed to. I don't know if Dan would make us buy the root beer first, but I don't think it's going to be that good. If it's good, I'll let you know. But I like a root beer. I like Barks root beer and IBC, my favorite root beers.
Well, that's good. Is that where he got these, or that's his own brand of root beer?
I don't know what he did. I think he took a bottle of ice. I think he just, honestly, Personally, folks, I think he just bought a non-name brand root beer and just smacked on his own sticker. What do you think?
I really can't say. I
Doc,
don't want to get in trouble. What is wrong? Maybe one night we could have a little topic on that.
Yeah.
Let them give us a bottle of root beer.
do you like Dr. Death's robe?
This, I guess, is another angry wrestler, and he's making his grand entrance.
Dr. Death, back again. Probably not going to sell for anyone because, you know, who sells for people? I think Sting is in here now. I think we've got Muda. We've got Wyndham. We've got... Oh, no. This is Ron Simmons, WCW World Champion.
All right. Well, isn't he the guy who goes, darn?
Oh, yes. By the way, Dan Mirade loves Ron Simmons. He'll always talk about how Ron Simmons basically kind of pulled out of the November the 13th show. But hey, you know what? That was Ron's prerogative. I'm going to stay neutral in that one like Switzerland. But it is funny to hear Dan go off on Ron.
Well, the thing I like...
Doc don't sew, Troy don't surf. Well, I will ride a boogie board on occasion, but that's
the thing I like about the wrestling I learned about is that there's some of these catchphrases. Needless to say, head. Well, that's the first thing I learned.
You want to hold the head?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, that's what I learned. The catchphrases in wrestling. You got it. So I promoted that because I guess Al quickly made it and had a lot of heads.
David, this is during the Watts administration. This is at the end of the Watts administration. So this is probably Bill Watts booking this.
One guy would go, yes. A lot of people go, head. A lot of people go, damn. Each wrestler has a catchphrase. I
think this is Ron Simmons in his Florida Seminole tights. He has pride written in the Florida Seminole colors, the gold and the burgundy. What do you guys think we're going to be seeing here with Dr. Death and Ron Simmons? I'm going to think a big Haas match with some suplexes and a lot of no selling.
No selling, huh?
Let's see what happens here. These are two thick guys, huh, Quincy?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is what I was telling you about. The way they, tough guy. Like, this is half the fun. The opening. Bullies. Like, look at how big these guys are. These are like heavyweight wrestlers.
These are heavyweight wrestlers. I think Doc was probably legit 260 here, and Simmons was probably a little smaller than that. But these were pretty big guys. These are pretty big guys right here. Phil, you should be sorry. Who wants to watch the Patriots when you could watch Ron Simmons and Dr. Death Steve Williams?
This is wrestling now.
This is wrestling. This is wrestling.
This is wrestling.
This is wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on now. This is good entertainment.
Yeah, look at these two hunks of clay going at it.
It's not every day we have, right before Thanksgiving, you get to see good entertainment. This is for the kids, remind you.
Well, this isn't for the kids necessarily.
Well, right now, but what I was just saying earlier, some of these matches are for the kids, and the kids, hopefully, I think most of them do appreciate what the wrestlers do. They write letters to the wrestlers. They make phone calls. Can you help my kid out? He needs to go to the hospital to get this treatment. And the wrestlers, most of these things answered, yes, I will help your kid. So you're going to have to meet. We're going to get your interview. It's like I said, for cancer, toy drive, or heart transplant, sad cases.
Mm-hmm. Quincy, are you going to be able to ride your bike much longer this year?
No. This is where I really have to watch out. The snow could come anytime between now and
March. The next 4 months.
Well, Christmas, I'm surprised I ride this long. That's good. But again, I have my snowblower tuned up, ready to go, waiting.
Quincy, do you know how to use a snowblower?
Of course.
Okay.
I got a compliment from the wrestlers when I first met them all. It's like, I heard you got your snowblower tuned up and you posted poster where you got the snowblower.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestlers don't miss nothing. They don't miss much.
They don't really. They don't.
It's your mother's driveway. It's right. Nope.
I'm getting a little warm. I'm going to take my hoodie off, Quincy. Got to take my hoodie off. All right.
I guess the wrestlers don't miss much.
They don't. These wrestlers. Oh,
Well, like what wrestler wouldn't get a snowblower, and do the driveway? That's just how it is. Get a good snowblower, work on it a little bit, and get out there, get some gas, do the driveway, sand, salt mix, and then go back to your wrestling shows.
I agree.
We're waiting. I think I've just seen someone step into there. He's making his way back.
That would be Dan Mirade.
Wrestling fans, I apologize for vanishing on you. There was
we
some.
were just talking about
I can only
a
imagine.
good memory of you, how we met and how I did the Doors song and answered a heart transplant to a kid.
Come on, touch me, baby. You rocked the Lynn Armory.
Well,
Charlie Wilson's hometown.
Well, that's when I first met.
Charlie's a little hot under the collar, I guess, literally.
Quincy is making me a little warm.
Well,
Well,
that's
very
when we first
interesting.
met.
Oh, dear Lord. What do we have here? The WCW World Championship on the line. Ron Simmons defending against Dr. Death Steve Williams.
By the way, Dr. Death not selling a goddamn thing. Well,
Well,
I don't know
with
in
the
this
gig
match.
he had in Japan, I think that's how a lot of the
He wrestled Liger,
tough
and let's
guys.
just say Liger was not fit enough for Dr. Death to sell for, I guess.
Now, Quincy, you remember Ron, don't you? You're actually a friend of Ron's.
Of course.
Well, did he put Ron over?
Of course I
He
did.
put Ron over.
Oh, did he?
actually,
Oh, good,
We
good.
actually put Ron over because we said, listen, we know that Ron had a bit of an issue with the show. And
Honestly, for about 20 seconds until you just reminded me, I actually forgot about that.
Oh, but
There's been so much going on.
Now I've reminded you.
Yeah.
And now,
But
fuck
no,
Ron
I
said-
just remember those two really hit it off when Ron was here in studio, which I thought was funny. But we had some issues with tonight's party with Marty.
Oh,
Thank God I went in there to check on it, or we would have had one of those things.
Well, I had
But at
Quincy
10
here.
p.m., we'll be ready to party again, folks. If you missed the news, if you haven't checked the description box below, we're running low on episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty on Thursday nights at 10. We need your support to keep it going. We have a great Indiegogo campaign we created
What's in
that's
there?
going to have a lot of
What?
perks and
water.
benefits to you guys.
I hope it's milk.
Great autographed
Milk
items,
is water.
the chance to have a personal experience with Marty that's limited to just 10 people. So we're trying to come up with some cool concepts. We have never been the type of people to stick our hand out and ask for something without giving something back. That's very important to me, and I think most of the powers that be in Boston wrestling. I do have my phone. Okay.
Well, again, we were talking about.
All right, that's good, Quincy, but just let me finish this.
Oh.
So again, if you enjoy Thursday nights with Marty, just imagine if everybody that watched contributed $1, we'd have the whole Indiegogo paid off like that. We'd have no worries for at least several months worth of episodes. So it's important, please check out the Indiegogo, whether you can give $1, whether you can join us in person for the $100 experience that we're going to have. We got some really cool stuff. We want to continue to party with Marty. There's been issues off and on with Marty since he's joined us, but we've had episodes every week since July of 2020. We don't want it to end. The Marty that was with us on Saturday was absolutely superb.
Great.
That is the Marty that we always want to have in studio. Marty and I have spoken. We both want to continue doing the show despite some tension. And I know Marty wants to party with Quincy. He said Quincy is an expert in the field of ejaculation.
All right, let's talk about that. I'm going to just keep that thing to.
But what's wrong
you
with
want
it?
to keep
in your
ejaculation
mind,
to a
Quincy?
minimum.
It's a very.
What's this thing with ejaculation?
I think if you talk to Dr. Uri about it, he'd tell you it's healthy. No, it's healthy for a man to do it. Don't you think,
it's
Charlie?
not. What is this thing he has?
I find it's nice to kind of not go for a little bit and then to kind of resume. Give yourself a little bit of a rest. Kind of like with Marty. You want to give yourself a little bit of a rest.
I imagine it would almost be like a volcano erupting with a lot of sound.
You got to let
Quincy
it build
does
up again,
Yeah.
Well, Quincy, are you a quiet masturbator? Should I ask?
This is supposed to be wrestling,
Yeah.
not
All right. Do you wrestle with yourself?
Marty.
Internally.
Back to the match here, folks. Dr. Death Steve Williams going to town on the leg of Ron Simmons. I don't think they really did much to build up this match from what I recall.
Well,
They really didn't do much to build up Ron. But that's a different story for a different time.
He beats Vader just out of nowhere, and then they just give him the title for like 4 months.
Yeah, and he lost it days after this match back to Leon.
You like the leg lock?
Huh?
Well, that's a good move. You like the leg lock?
Well, Quincy, what are your favorite memories of Ron Simmons?
Bang! First of all, I like the opening catchphrase. Again, what's not to like?
I know you used to go to the gym. Did you ever have a physique like Ron Simmons?
It's been a while since I went to the gym, but I went there a few times. And,
you know a man named Jim.
He had a free coupon.
Yeah, and then
still a weight.
You gotta admit, I walk around that time and time again. So that's almost the same thing as like going to the gym. It's almost like being on the treadmill.
Yeah.
I
know someone in the chat said, Quincy, they said it almost looked like you had a fanny pack under that purple shirt.
Rick B asks,
Woo!
how about phone podcasts with Marty, like you had a few times with Tony?
Would you guys rather have Marty in studio, or would you rather have him over the phone?
I know it's easier for you to hang up the phone.
Well, it would be much easier to do it over the phone, but I worry about the quality for the fans and the long-term value of it. Anyone can do a podcast.
I gotta say something.
All right.
If you're gonna be afraid of having a wrestler in the studio, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have to interview the wrestler.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to say, why not have him in here so you can interview him?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that besides on the phone?
Well, I know you and Marty enjoyed French fries together at TGI Fridays. I think, Charlie, you were there for that.
Oh, I was there for that. I was very upset with Marty that night.
That wasn't.
What's wrong with that?
He turned you off a little bit.
That was very upset. But here's the thing:
as much as you're turning on all of the female fans right now with those guns,
and some of the male fans a little bit.
Oh, maybe.
What's upset?
Well, Marty was a little bit of a jerk that day. He was trying to pinch people.
He pinched Quincy's newt.
Did he pinch your newt?
We were maybe he was like having a tense that night, but
can you show me on the doll where he touched you? Well,
maybe once or twice, but
your newt.
He did that to all of us, but
not me.
And you shared your French fries with him.
Well, that's good. I just wanted a cold drink that night. It was so we had some fun going out.
Had a little soda and some French fries.
Yeah.
You were out partying.
I remember.
That was the night I forgot my keys here. And
yeah.
Quincy had to go get them from our executive director's home so I could get back in and get my house key.
And I came back.
As if that night couldn't have been any crazier.
I gotta say, when we were in the car watching him go up the steps, it looked like a goblin trying to make someone.
And then Quincy, thinking he was home, he tried to go into his back door. Quincy just felt like he was at home. He didn't knock on the front door. He just went to the back door.
I knew the individual to go up and get what he needed.
You're comfortable going in his back door.
Well, I know the individual.
Yeah.
And,
that helps. Yeah.
I've been into some back doors. I've gone into Captain Lou's back door.
And
you've been to the Lou residence?
I went to Lou residence one time.
Did you meet any Lou's?
I met his brother. He was a nice guy.
Ethan Lou?
I guess that's the top of us.
Actually, he had me in the front door.
He forgot the phone, so I came back here, got the phone. And that was it.
Now, what about Harvey?
Right? Remember that?
Harvey, I would go in his front door.
Full access to the home.
Well, it depends.
He was having a stressful night.
Yeah.
He forgot his phone, so I came back here, got the phone.
He was having, and I remember you were stressed out at the restaurant because Dan Mirade was not letting you have an easy time with your French fries and cold beverage.
What did I do to his French fries?
You were just saying things
what was I talking about, Quincy?
I don't want to get into it, but you need to know when to call it quits.
All right.
Stop saying things like
it would be quiet, and then Dan would let a sentence or two fly from his mouth, and Quincy would go into a rage.
Now, what would I say? I don't
want to get into it.
All right.
Again, you got to know when to knock it off. You got to know when just to, draw the line, call it quits.
Did he ask about Deborah McMichael?
All right, so
the puppies.
Yeah, well, that's a nice thing.
Well, Quincy, tell the fans at home why that when Deborah gave you an autographed picture for Christmas,
it's an autograph,
and she wrote puppies on it.
Because I'm a nice guy.
You hid it under your bed so Eleanor wouldn't find it.
Alrighty, will you just knock this off?
But you told me you hid the photo.
It's just a nice picture. I have it tucked away somewhere.
Do you have a holy center in your house?
Yeah.
You should frame it next to the holy center so they say Jesus and then they see Deborah McMichael.
Yeah. That's put away
Quincy's
somewhere.
got a few pictures. Don't you
cross comes first.
You have a picture of one of the guys from Jaws 2, I think, don't you?
That's right.
Who's that again?
It's a group,
Well, who signed it?
the guy goes, listen to me, goddamn it, I'll break your ass. But this time he said, Quincy, goddamn it, I'll break your ass, you hear me? And it's signed.
Did someone break your ass?
Remember, like, when they had to go rescue Sean? Sean, goddamn it, I'll break your ass, you hear me?
I didn't watch Jaws 2. I watched Jaws 1.
Okay, I watched both Jaws 1 and Jaws 2.
How many Jaws did they make?
4.
Four of them.
4 of them. They
But
went back to the.
I'm surprised that one hasn't been remade. But as
I got
we
an
continue with
autograph from the guy who says, like, goddamn it, I'll break your ass. Remember Sean?
Roy Schneider?
No, this was one of the kids. One of the ones that was like, there was like 5 or 6 guys in the boat trying to rescue Sean.
Two tremendous football players.
But this time we wrote, Quincy, goddamn, I'll break your ass. You hear me? And an autograph, yours truly. Because I take Jaws very seriously.
Yeah,
now, who else do you have, Quincy, in your collection? You've got Deborah's picture that says "Puppies Hidden," so Eleanor doesn't find it.
Oh,
You've got the Jaws 2
different
photo.
ones.
Who else do you got?
Barney Miller.
Bonnie.
That's right.
You got a Bonnie Miller autograph?
That's right.
I'll
Very
tell
important.
you this as we continue to watch Ron Simmons defend the championship against Dr. Death here at Starrcade 92 Battle
What
Ball.
else? I have
Quincy scared the ever-living shit out of Burt Reynolds at a celebrity convention.
Did you?
Yes.
That's because I did some very important Burt Reynolds clips and got the crowd's attention.
Burt was, I guess, going to the green room. And Quincy, what did you say to Burt that scared him so much?
I didn't say. I said that to the crowd. That's some of Burt's best clips from
Well,
Hooper.
give us an example of a Hooper clip.
Oh, that's like 6'3", Louie. When they got
Did you hustle Burt Reynolds?
no.
They weren't exactly close, but he was close, probably 30 feet. And Burt was with probably some handler that was helping him. And Quincy started screaming lines at him from this
to
movie.
the crowds, and the crowds liked it. And using
Burt was very frail. I don't think he was thinking about his WrestleMania 10 appearance. And Rastani went wild.
it's something like.
What else did you say? Give us a Hooper clip.
Let's see.
What a horrible finish. Again, even though they claim Super Brawl and the promo was their biggest event of the year.
Could they just not do it?
Starrcade was the marquee. What's that now?
What was Doc not doing jobs because of Japan?
Yeah.
You said they could do it.
Was he overrated? He just doesn't want to sell for anyone at all.
Williams?
Doesn't sell
If
for
you
anyone.
like that style, I think he's very good. To me,
Okay, he sells for Simmons because Simmons is a big guy, but Liger, he worked with Liger. He did not want to do anything for Liger.
he was in one of the tag team matches too.
Yes.
Oh.
Him and Sting versus Liger and Watts.
Should have never put him in that.
No, I agree. Especially when they had Tony Atlas
Now they're
right
making
there.
Ron Simmons look like an idiot.
I don't know. I'm not saying he was bad. I just don't think he wanted to sell for anyone. But you said that style. Is that the Japanese style, I guess?
Yeah, those guys, when they were making that big monster money in Japan, they were willing to come over and work, but they didn't want to do clean jobs. They didn't want to look bad. And I get it. I mean, his bread and butter was Japan. But at the same time, why put him in there with your world champion that you're trying to push as something new, something fresh, and not get a good match out of it?
But why did it matter for Japan? That's in Japan. That's the United States, unless the TV.
Well, you're not going to remember, they used to have Japanese magazines. They would come out weekly.
Oh, another good
almost like
autograph
Sports
I had.
Illustrated. It's Japanese. I think it's different now, but back then it was treated very much realistically. It was treated with so much more respect than it ever has been in the United States.
Well, they had it was interesting because he was working with Liger, who was one of the top New Japan stars. And it's funny, you had All Japan and New Japan. Granted, I'm sure Dr. Death was not going to sell an inch for Liger because it's Liger.
Even if he wasn't in Japan, I couldn't see him selling.
Oh, no. Even though I would actually argue Liger was a more talented guy than Dr. Death.
You know what? He's a really nice, he's passed away now. But really nice guy, too. I met him the weekend of WrestleMania 15 in Philly. Not to be confused with fellatio, Quincy, but Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Why do you keep saying this? This is one of the things that makes me furious.
Why? I like Philadelphia. It's a great city.
Fellatio and all this other.
All right. Well, you're talking about it now, not me.
So you missed him there. Oh, you also missed Rick Rude without his mustache. He had shaved.
See, there's a chair move. These are these are moves that have to be done carefully.
Well, I still want to see Quincy in a battle royal.
Well,
I'm sure Al has some old
Can we
tights he could give
put
him.
that on April 16th?
maybe.
I don't think we need another battle royal that quick. I'm not a big battle royal guy.
Why not? It's a good. If I was to do the battle royal opening,
I had a good idea for Quincy. I was going to put him in a mask called Mr. Wrestling 17.
I guess that the way that would have to be done is like all in fun.
Matthew Holland lives in Philly. Matt Holland, do you like Philadelphia?
Sure, of course. No,
Philadelphia, I always have fun in Philly.
the battle royal, I guess, was it a group of wrestlers were getting up on it and all being fun. And for
Well, I don't think it was
minute,
fun, Quincy. It was dangerous. It's the most dangerous match in professional wrestling, as Gorilla Monsoon would say.
But I would be trained. The wrestlers would all gather in, and then
You think Al wants to bring you out to OVW?
Well, and here's what I would do. They would all come in. It's like for about 1 minute, and I would go. And
You'd ejaculate on them?
No, like it was the way I like the battle royal was like
that would be a way to eliminate them. Everybody could just start jumping over the top rope after Quincy explodes.
They all pile up on one wrestler, and the wrestler comes out and repels all the wrestlers.
Charlie, I think you need a Red Bull. We've seen an awful lot of yawning.
I know, I'm tired as hell.
What
It's
happened?
Quincy. It's really Quincy.
Quincy's wearing you out?
He's wearing me out.
The battle royal is designed that all the wrestlers go all over the ring. That is fun. Don't you think the battle royal is? That's I guess what struck me in the battle royal.
Yeah.
He comes in, and then we gang up on the wrestler.
Look at this weird tag team. Looks like some guy and his toady.
Now, didn't these two wrestle earlier?
Yeah, they were on opposite teams, but I don't know if they were teaming. Were they teaming Wyndham and Pillman? Do they have a thing going on? Because this is pre-Blondes. This is pre-Hollywood Blondes.
Yeah. I'm a little confused. So is this a Battle Bowl qualifying match, or is this just a match? I'm a little lost.
I think this was a qualifying match.
Wasn't Pillman coming out when I left, though?
But Pillman was wrestling with a Scorpio. Unless this is like an elimination match. I don't know. The Battle Bowl rules were so confusing.
Again, how could you make this your mock? This would be interesting for a TV show, but how can you make it a effing your biggest? Imagine Vince doing this with WrestleMania. So this is just a tag team title match.
Oh, this
isn't
okay.
This
makes more sense.
Battle Bowl qualifier.
And this is Shane Douglas.
And it says why bother to put them in Battle Bowl?
Yeah, that's true. And
God.
Shane Douglas, especially when you have all those other guys on the show, and Shane Douglas is fairly young here. Ricky Steamboat is still great, even this late in his career. Did you like Shane Douglas and Ricky Steamboat as a team? What do you think about this?
Not especially.
What do you think about Shane and Ricky individually?
I think Shane turned into a great promo, an adequate worker. Ricky Steamboat, one of the smoothest of all time. I just think the only thing that maybe held him back from being, and there are a lot of people that will call him an all-time great, but I look at it as was he a main event guy?
He was a main event guy.
He was. He headlined a lot of house shows for WWF, but I mean, I just look at him as, and this is a great compliment. I look at him as an '80s Intercontinental Champion level guy. Could he be a long-term main eventer in this version of NWA WCW? World title holder, pay-per-view main eventer? No.
Well, they put on Simmons. I mean, I think he's better than
Well,
Simmons.
they were trying to recreate Junkyard Dog. Let's call a spade a spade.
Okay, fair point.
Douglas found his niche in WCW.
Or ECW?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're right.
Let's talk about
ECW.
autographs. I'll take a couple more of them later.
I will say this about Shane Douglas. It seemed like he aged kind of roughly after 40. He looks great up until about 40. Then he just lets himself go.
Probably, to be honest, got off the gas and
just age and injuries.
You age quickly at that point.
I mean, he looks great here. He's probably about my age here, late 20s. Same with Pillman.
I think he would be a great guest on Wrestling Inside is Extreme.
I think very articulate guy, very intelligent, very well spoken.
Yes.
Understands wrestling, smart guy. I always enjoy hearing him speak. Definitely, it seemed like he had a very good career, but he could have had even a better career had he not burned a couple bridges.
Well, his first WWF run was job duty. His second run was just atrocious, and that's not his fault. I'm sure he didn't go into the company wanting to be Dean Douglas, but it was what it was. And he made a lot of enemies with the clique.
Which was not a good idea in that time.
It's too bad he didn't have the opportunity to, instead of ECW, go to WCW in '96. It would have been interesting to see where he could have wound up at that point during the Monday Night Wars.
He was great shape here. It's amazing how big he got. If you look at Shane Douglas, 97, 98, 99, huge. Physically, just something else.
Well, I hate to accuse people of things sometimes, but I mean, it's pretty obvious he got big and bloated. His head got much bigger. He had the Barry Bonds thing going.
Yep.
I mean, Pillman right here in tremendous physical condition.
All four of these guys are in great shape.
It's just a shame that he never had a chance to shine on top in peak physical condition.
Right. We were talking about.
And it's a shame he's no longer with us.
If he had lived a little bit longer, he would have been one of the biggest stars in the Attitude Era.
It would have been interesting because his body was done.
That's a good move. Look at that.
He wanted to earn his money, which I give him credit for, but he was not fully recovered when he came back. He came back too soon. His ankle was messed up even more than it was. He couldn't even bend it. I mean, if you look back at his WWF run, can you really think of one good match he had outside of being part of that 10-man tag at the July 1997 In Your House?
All I can think about is that tag match, the Goldust angle, and the angle with Austin.
But were there any good matches that came out of it?
Nothing like this. Nothing
exactly.
Like this here.
And that's a shame because he wanted to go out there and be Brian Pillman, but when he was in that Humvee wreck in, I think, April of '96, after he hustled himself, maybe it was karma. Well, he hustled WCW pretty bad to get out of his contract and become a free agent.
The funny thing is, I watched that Dark Side of the Ring on him, and he couldn't. One thing that is his downfall, and this is just my one man's opinion, as you'd say, he couldn't stop having fucking kids. He was
a very sexual man, from what I was told, much like yourself.
He likes the back door.
Well,
and the front door, any door that would have him.
God, where did I have this? Who told me this one? He used to write anonymous letters to one of the adult magazines that Quincy subscribes to.
Okay.
And he would share his sexual exploits in the magazines under a pen name.
Oh, wow.
He didn't want it to be known that it was him. But I mean, just these things he did when he was a college football player, and then when he tried to get into the pros, and then with wrestling. I know with the wrestling sometimes, which I thought was hysterical, I wouldn't even call them rats, just women that would bring their kids to the shows. He'd find some of the other wrestlers to amuse the children while Brian went to town on the mums.
Wow.
True stories.
That's interesting.
He was a wild, over-the-top personality, perfect for our industry.
And now we don't have people like that.
No.
I was talking to the gentleman I told you I had a great conversation with earlier at the show, one of the wrestlers.
Okay.
And very nice guy, but those characters aren't there. He was just a nice, sweet guy.
There's work to be done.
Yes, but there's not.
That's why they need Dan Mirade.
Well, there's.
I need to bring it out of them.
There's no.
The super chat is open, folks. We need to keep Marty Jannetty's show on the air.
And speaking of that,
do you understand? I'm telling you, folks, we have 3 episodes left. Then there's no more Marty unless you guys start super chatting or help the Indiegogo campaign.
And we're only
we
in
don't
91.
want Thursday nights with Marty, Dan.
We'll
turn it into Thursday nights with Quincy.
And they're only in 91, so you don't get to hear about the post-Shawn breakup years, which are definitely interesting in their own right.
Huh?
You're only talking about 1991.
Oh, you're talking about Marty. Okay,
yes.
Yeah, right. Tonight's episode is it's a shorter one, but it is a wild one.
Really?
I didn't even know if I should include one of the individuals in the tweet. But you know what? It's his life, it's his memories, it's his experiences, the way he chooses to share them.
I found he was in great shape, but here's the thing about him. He's back on the Facebook, and once he gets on Facebook, he starts healing on people.
You never know what to expect, and that's part of the CTE.
Yeah. But
you know what? I think it's good to try and forgive and forget. you know what? We have to lay the law down with the man. We have to, there has to be point A, point B, point D. You kidding? You only pay them $55. Username, I hope you're smart enough to realize that's complete and utter nonsense. For anyone to think that Tony Atlas or any major league star would come here, not once, but dozens and dozens of times for years on end to make $55 is absolutely absurd. I think you're smarter than that. I'd like to think that everyone that has heard that foolish story is smarter than that. He later recanted it and claimed it was $200. You know what? He's a man that wears the cross. Mm-hmm. As I said in one of the interviews, put your hand on the Bible, swear on your wife's life that's in a rehab facility recovering from a stroke, and tell that story. Swear on her life and tell you that story. Because I'll tell you this, you bring me the Bible, I have no problem swearing on my kids. Oh. Mr. USA, thief. But anyway, back to the action. Barry Windham with the readjusting Shane Douglas's jaw. Almost it looked like after he gave a little, well, I shouldn't say that, but thank you, username. You never know because you can't tell someone's tone in the chat room and something like this. You know what I mean? You could be 100% serious. You could be joking around like you're telling me you are now. But I'll never not be insulted by what Tony had put on Facebook. I know he didn't write it because he can't type like that. But even if we ever do make peace, I'll never forget that they put that bullshit, insulting bullshit out there. And again, I can take it. I don't care. I've been around this now 28 years. But when you have shit out there that isn't true, and at some point your kids Google and look up things, I don't want that out there. Come on. Be a man. Enough with the bullshit. One thing that we didn't bring up, Charles, do you prefer Charles or Charlie on the show?
I always like Charlie. It's a little more informal.
All right. But no Matt's on the ringside with the Bill Watts era. I don't know if you mentioned that earlier.
I did notice it, and that was one of the things with Watts. Now, the mats can slip.
A lot of dirty backs.
Oh, now we get dirty backs.
From Johnny B. Bad's graffiti.
Cold mats, too. Cold concrete.
And just, whoa.
That's a big bump.
And you know what? I understand what Bill Watts was trying to get across, toughness, realism, but I don't know if, and this is coming from people that don't use mats, but just is for realism's sake, I don't know. I think that probably led to a lot of injuries that didn't need to happen. Quincy's a little bored with Starrcade.
Quincy, you want to go take a rest and come back?
No, I'm all right.
No, he's
it's almost time to.
Another dirty back.
Yeah. Almost time to take off anyway.
It's only 9:15, Quincy.
Well, he's got a lot of sleep to catch up on. It's a long day being with you.
Yeah, well, Quincy was a big help. He did a big mail run for Al.
That's on its way. Quickly. I'll be there in a couple of days.
And all the women that saw him at Shaw's today were giddy when they saw him in his purple shirt.
Are you a regular
thinking he was
Shaw's?
A pimp.
What? Are you a regular at Shaw's? The Q father.
Thursdays.
There's a woman there named Sharon that wanted to fillet him.
All right, you just knock this
Well,
off.
am I right or wrong, though?
No.
Quincy,
Sharon doesn't want to fillet you?
If you're going to take a woman on a date, where would you take her?
I'm not going to take anyone.
That's a good question.
Right,
no, would you just take him to Pound Town?
No, let me ask Quincy. We're being serious, and hopefully, I know Al is watching right now. If you were to meet a beautiful woman, and she said, "Quincy, I'd like to go out on a date with you," where would you bring her?
Would you bring her here?
She would probably want to come here and watch wrestling.
I highly doubt it, but
why not?
Well, let's just say you were out and about on your bike in Stoneham, where you live, and a lovely lady said, I find you to be quite handsome. I'd like to go out on a date with you. Now, where would you bring her? To a restaurant? To the movies?
Probably somewhere I'd have some coffee for now.
A little coffee. You're cheap, yeah.
Are you hustling the coffee?
Thanks a lot, Marty.
Are you hustling the coffee out of, or are you going to pay for the coffee?
Would you go to like a...
taking lessons from this guy?
Would you go to a hotel lobby that has free coffee? Well, I'll tell you this. Speaking of coffee, look at his cup that he has right now, Charlie. He's got a Starbucks. I don't know where he got them, but he got about 40 free Starbucks cups.
Quincy, would you go?
Where did you get the Starbucks cups?
Somewhere, all right?
Are you the type that would go to the Dollar Tree for the dessert after the free coffee?
Why, what?
Would you go to the Dollar Tree to get some free desserts? Some nice chocolates?
The Dolly, what?
The Dollar Tree, maybe getting her a nice chocolate?
I like some of Ozzy Osbourne. I'm not a big music guy, but I do like Ozzy Osbourne, some of his stuff.
Like chocolate, yeah.
Personally, I don't know enough about him.
He was at WrestleMania 2.
Yep, he did a Raw in Worcester in 08, if memory serves me correct. The night that John Cena Sr. joined DX for one night. I guess you weren't there.
No, just John Cena Sr. is such a... We were just talking about his disgusting soda pop.
We got 2 words for you, brother.
Hey, brother. Imagine if there should be a t-shirt that says, we've got 2 words for you. Hey, brother.
HBK, the Hey Brother Kid.
I just
Johnny and I taped some great content. Was it yesterday? It feels like it was a month ago. Was yesterday Wednesday?
Did he?
Yes,
did you ask him if he put the... I'm convinced he did not put Cam in the STF.
I haven't seen anything.
I don't think he did. I think he just gave him the FU. The worst FU of all time.
Well, that's nice to say. And put the product over.
Well, no, I just have a problem with Cena Sr.
You have a problem with Cena Sr.
I'm not disrespecting your product, Dan Mirade.
Well, I want to know why you have a problem with Johnny.
I just think that John seems to be a little bit of a snake in the grass.
Really?
I mean, where does this root beer come from? Some sweatshop in Thailand?
I think it's made here in America.
Oh, where? Where is it made?
The finest soda shops
Do you think one night
in the country.
he'll let us try one of these and we can talk a little bit about the soda?
If you pay,
I'm gonna, Quincy, when Johnny is back here in the studio the second week in December, I'm gonna have him bring some root beers for you to try.
All right.
Now, would you like to try the orange soda or just the root beer?
Root beer.
He's got a red, I think like a cherry. He's got orange. He's got root beer. He's got like a cola, like a Pepsi or a Coke. You just want the root beer.
Plain regular Coke.
You want the soda Pepsi, too. So you want his soda and his root beer flavors.
Yeah, if he's got a Pepsi or just root beer, maybe if he wants to get his beverages out there, well,
you can help with the beverages.
Talk a little bit about the beverages.
Now he also has hot sauce. Do you like
no hot sauce?
Patera doesn't cook with hot sauce.
Some people like hot sauce. Some people don't.
You don't like it?
No. Well,
Quincy, could you do me a favor? We have a little bit of a problem. Could you get me 2 batteries out of the refrigerator?
Yeah.
I'm on red, which isn't good. Can you guys still hear me at home? I'm about ready to die. And look on top of it, I have on my Halloween Horror Nights t-shirt where it's beautiful weather here in Massachusetts for one day, I guess, until the spring of 2022. But I had such a great time down there. I don't. Is that something that interests you?
Universal?
No. Are you a horror guy?
Not so much a horror guy. Universal, I will say, is a great park.
Oh,
I went one time years ago. Actually, I would say that in my time there.
Thank you, username.
I did go one time a few years back. Universal to me was the most. Universal and SeaWorld I like more than Disney.
You're SeaWorld. Too.
I love the Kraken. Great roller
You like the what?
The Kraken, it's called.
The Kraken?
Yes.
What
Not
do you
the crack in the back door, but the crack.
Thank you, Quincy. Well, I don't need 3 of them, but you were very generous in case one doesn't work, I guess. All right, I guess I'm going to go silent for a minute as I change the battery. Thank you, Phil. Now, what is Kraken?
The Kraken is a roller coaster at SeaWorld.
Oh, I wouldn't do a roller coaster if the kid's life depended on it.
Roller coaster?
Well, I just have this image of you and the two whippersnappers with you walking around.
They call this move the roller coaster?
No. The Kraken is called a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster ride at SeaWorld. I don't know if it's still there, but it was when I went.
I thought this was wrestling.
I'll tell you this. I'm pissed at the older little Mirade. For Christmas, they wanted to see LeBron James. So I spent a small fortune to get tickets for the Celtics-Lakers game tomorrow night.
Nice.
And the oldest one can't go.
Why?
Things with work he lives up in New Hampshire, and
jeez.
So I'm ready. Kid.
Goddamn kid.
So we may have to invite a special guest to join us tomorrow night, as I really don't want the ticket to go to waste for all the money that I spent.
Well,
Are you working tomorrow night?
tomorrow night I'm not.
Are you a LeBron guy?
Big LeBron guy.
Really?
Big LeBron guy.
Would you like to go as a
actually
reward for all your hard work?
I actually love to go, I think. I think I'd be a lot of fun. Yeah.
99.9, unless he can figure out something with his work schedule and find a babysitter for grandbaby Marty. It is yours.
Just let me know.
What time do you get out?
I'm out probably by. I'm definitely home by tomorrow. I should be out by 4.
Oh,
I should be home by
perfect.
4 actually.
All right. Yeah, that would work out great.
We
Well,
go-
you know what? See what happens when you put goodwill into the world?
Well,
Have you ever seen LeBron live?
I have not. I did see Giannis Antetokounmpo live. That was really cool.
We're going to see him next month
Oh wow!
when the Bucks are in town.
Great player. Great.
I try to get him tickets to 1 or 2 games a year. I don't go to the Celtics as often as the Red Sox because Celtics tickets are expensive.
Yeah. What now? Is there? Are they? Do they have the mask restriction and the COVID restrictions there?
You have to have proof of vaccination and a mask.
Okay. All
Now,
right.
Quincy, you almost look like you a Lakers fan with that purple shirt. A Lakers fan. The Los Angeles Lakers, the basketball team.
No, this is just an outfit I put together for now. And
No one ever called you Irvin Magic
No.
Rustani? No.
Can you wear that shirt to the next wrestling show?
With the leopard skin over it.
Yes.
I think of it, if I still have it.
Oh, Quincy, no. That is a must. You need to wear that shirt with the leopard skin coat.
I just happen to put this thing together for now to knock around.
Pillman goes for the pin, but not enough to put away the dragon. And you know what there may have been? I kind of lost interest in WCW a bit at this point. But I would like to have seen some Steamboat Pillman singles matches. I bet they would have been off the chart. Like you said, this wasn't peak Barry by any stretch of the imagination.
Still
Not
very
bad,
good. Yeah,
but
very good Barry.
not peak Barry.
It wasn't like 89 Barry.
No. Or even 86, 87, 88. My God, he was one of the best in the world. Here, he's just solid, which isn't an insult, but, his problems are documented enough.
Well, what do you think it was? I know he had a knee issue at one point.
I said, it was odd that he left the business completely when his brother and father went to jail in
do you think maybe
early 90s.
Went to jail.
The bumps and the bruises?
Why
I
did
guess.
someone go to jail?
Oh,
They were
great
making
kick.
counterfeit money, Quincy, fake money.
Why in the hell does anyone want to have counterfeit money?
Well, because you can go into the store and buy stuff.
I
It's
know.
the ultimate hustle for a hustle.
Sounds like
Quincy.
something you do, like with your
Well,
free
what the hell are
turkey
you doing
that
with
you got.
counterfeit money? Where do you cut counterfeit money?
You make it.
Forget it. I don't want to.
They had machines. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Have you ever used counterfeit?
no, I don't want counterfeit money.
Eleanor would be disappointed in
No.
you.
I'm a mature adult saying I don't want counterfeit money. It's
You're a
not right.
junior police officer in Stoneham, aren't you?
Are you a police officer in Stone?
Community placer.
What is the term that they call you?
Community placer.
Community police officer.
You
I'm
tell
sorry.
people, you tell the police when something goes wrong. You turn in lost items. And I turn in quite a few.
Did you ever arrest anyone?
No, you call the police.
They've given them a
You
few.
turn in lost items. You report trouble on the streets. I've called in a few car accidents. I've turned in lost number plates. A set of keys that were lost. I've turned in some
Good match.
lost
The
cards.
champions retain.
That's community policing. And word gets around very quickly about community policing.
I would have liked to have seen the heels go over. I was
I'm known
always
by
a
three
big
different departments right
Pillman
now.
guy.
You like the heels.
Well, it fits my personality.
Yeah, it really is a heel.
It was really nice to have Pillman Jr. with us
That's
in
what it
studio. I wish
is.
he had more of a story to tell wrestling-wise.
Do you think he's like his dad at all, personality-wise, or no?
No. He's
Seems like a milk and cookies
he's a
guy.
real techie guy. Kind of. I don't want to
Geeky?
use the term nerdy, but I mean video games.
Yeah. Not doing what his dad would be doing.
doing computer stuff.
Yeah.
Very, very technical.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
what
very
that is.
impressed by that, as a matter of fact. We had a lot of fun. We went to that Brazilian buffet next to Kowloon that's closed because
Oh,
he stayed with us for a couple of days and he didn't want to go to Kowloon twice. But We had an awful lot of fun when he was here. Good guy, good egg. I like Brian. I'm glad he's having success in AEW. I'd like to have him back here in Boston Wrestling MWF.
I think he's great. I think I would cut that mullet if I were him, but he's great.
Well, he wants to look like the dad.
Yeah, his dad had a much better hair.
Very interesting notes, though. While I was away, I had a chance to text with a potential superstar guest when we go back to the 80s, Saturday night, April the 16th.
Really?
For Soul Survivor 10. Yes, an 80s legend I was texting with. Also found out that probably not many fans would be interested in, but I am. September 26th through 28th, the Cauliflower Alley Club moves from the Gold Coast Casino to the Plaza Hotel, which is probably most famous for being included in the Back to the Future movie.
So why are they moving?
Probably a better rate.
Okay. Well,
I love the fact that it's in September. I thought in April it's just too close to WrestleMania.
Will they have Medusa coming back to make another speech?
And no, she got her award. I think her speeches days are done.
Well, Medusa, Deborah, if you're out there, I love you.
Yeah. What was the little heart she gave you again? How did she do? Yeah.
So
I didn't get one.
I actually have to say that this is the final. She comes up to me. This is when she's leaving the event, and she goes, "Thank you for everything." And I go, she says, "Good luck, whatever you do." And I say, "Thanks, whatever that means." I kind of healed for a second because
turned heel.
I turned heel a little bit because she had kind of healed a little bit.
Yeah. Well, she did threaten to call 911.
Yes. So Neil Manolian was right there.
Yes, the chairman.
That. Yes,
the chairman.
And
what a night he had.
I said, whatever that means. Thank you. She's like, it just means. And she was about to heel back on me. It just means good luck. I said, okay. And then I said, I don't want to be a heel. So she's walking away. So I go, Medusa, and she looks up at me, and I go, thank you for everything. And she goes, puts a little heart and pushes it my way.
I never got that.
You never got it. You just got a phone call where she called your brother.
She kept calling me brother over and over again.
Hey,
I
brother.
just wish there was a confrontation between Medusa and Piggott.
It never happened.
That's a disappointment.
Never happened. But Neil Manolian, good. You know what? He was. I look at it like Neil Manolian
was a hero. You two were heroes.
He was the number one man. I was number two.
Yes.
And Neil Manolian really helped me. I could not have done all that without Neil Manolian.
And Neil could not have done everything that he did without your help.
Well, I hope I was a help to him.
I wish I could have done more, but like I said, every time someone called, the stream that I had went out.
Well, I mean, Hillside,
it was impossible. After about the fifth time,
Yeah.
How many times am I going to call Hillside to turn it on again? I think he should have gone the route of maybe a private YouTube link that I don't think like this would not have shut off. He did something via Facebook, and every time it rang, it was lost. And I would get so pissed. A few of the times it was your little friend bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching. Who did this to you that you just said?
Oh, Medusa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Medusa.
Well, we had Bob Backlund losing his mind, and
he put the crossface chicken wing on someone.
Who?
Some person.
A wrestler
it was
or
right
a
at the end of
fan?
intermission. We literally watched him do it, and we said, intermission is now over. Please get back to your seats, ladies and gentlemen. And then Quincy got up and reaffirmed that statement.
What did Quincy say?
Quincy said, all right, ladies and gentlemen, intermission is ending. Please go back to your seats.
So you were a big help, Quincy.
Quincy was a help.
That's right.
Mostly sat there drinking his milk and eating
With
his
Phil.
goldfish crackers and eating his pepperoni pizza.
Free pizza. You like your free pizza.
Well, yeah, Mirade, you have to say everything free. You have to keep like.
But you hustle. I love the hustle. You got a free turkey.
Quincy Hustle, that's his nickname. John, like
He had a,
Wheeling and dealing.
he had a free meatball.
Wheeling and dealing.
Free meatball sub tonight.
Hey, would you have done what John C. did and pay $3 a slice for pizza?
No.
No, John C.
No.
was the ultimate fool.
I'll tell you, one of the great stories was Quincy went to help pass out flyers at one of the shows at the Garden. And he decided to go up to the concession stand and tell them that he knew Al Snow. And he wanted a hot dog and a Coke. And he expected it for free because he knew Al.
If you had said that Al Snow needs a hot dog and a Coke, maybe that would have helped out a little bit.
Well, the people at the concession stand didn't have a fucking clue what he was talking about. And after this, Quincy refused to pay for the hot dog and the Coke. And I I think he had the leopard skin on, if I remember correct. And after several minutes of holding up the line, a man realizing the predicament that was going on, to be kind, just decided to open up his wallet and pay for
So you hustled a poor man.
hot dog
Look at that
and
smile. Look at that smile.
He remembers the story. He's a hustler.
Why not?
It was free.
Why not?
Come on, I passed out some
Jesus,
flyers and-
Quincy, are you a religious man? Are you?
Oh, very much.
Quincy, if Jesus Christ was dying on the cross and someone said, Quincy, if you pay us $1, we can save Jesus, you'd be like, well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves here.
He'd be worried about going to the pantry to get his free turkey. What else do you hustle from the pantry?
It's a hell of a combination. You're mixing the cross, and
I know you talk about
And
the
free
kids.
turkeys.
You do things for the kids, but if it was between giving money to the kids or taking their money, I think the kids are going to have a little less change jingling in their pockets.
What I think is interesting is that Quincy also has a tuxedo like Holly Race.
Does he? Can you wear that to April 16th?
I think we need the leopard skin for Soul Survivor. This is a big one.
I got to say, well, now let me ask you, Mr. Mirade, would there be a lot of people from the first show that we had in November that will be there?
You're asking questions that we don't need on the air. Is there still a lot of confusion about that?
I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of confusion the day before, too.
No. It's going to be resolved within
We're going to
like a week.
streamline this process.
What's that?
We're going to be having more of a streamlined process.
Absolutely. We will not repeat the issues that we had with the seats. Look at Sting with some kind of, I don't know what that was. I don't know what the purpose of the King of Cable was, but this is the King of Cable match. Again, I don't understand why you have these guys wrestling multiple times.
I did say
on what should be your biggest show of the year.
I did say I enjoy Sting's colors. I like the blue and the white.
Yeah. No, Sting was always presented himself well physically. His gear was always different. His face paint was always different. And you know what? That attention to detail means something. Unlike poor Vader, who they remember him as someone, as he's passed, as someone that stunk.
Well,
they
also remembered him for someone jumping off the top rope and telling him to move and exposing the business.
I remember watching that on one of our Universal trips with Baby Marty, and he got the biggest kick out of that.
Baby Marty liked Shawn Michaels exposing the business.
For some reason, I don't know how, but he heard about it on social media, because I guess maybe Jim Cornette was talking about it, and he had never seen the match. So when Linda was in bed, he came into my room, and we put on the laptop and we put on the network, and we listened to the Jim Cornette description of it, and then we watched the match with it, and he thought it was hysterical.
Did you like the match?
I don't remember if he liked it or not. I just remember that he laughed.
Well, did you like the match?
Did I?
Yeah. It wasn't a bad match.
No. They just didn't gel. It wasn't bad. I mean,
I think when
Vader wasn't done at that point, and Shawn was at his peak. I mean, it would be hard for him to have a bad match with anyone.
I think, honestly, when Shawn lands on his feet and tells him to move, to me, I lost a lot of respect for Shawn Michaels as a performer.
Shawn personally was probably at his worst about then. And I'll say this. One thing I'll say about him, even at his worst professionally, he was always very good with the fans that I saw.
Did you ever meet him back in that 90s?
Oh, many times.
What was he like as a person with you back in that 93, 97 time frame?
I wasn't one of his peers. I wasn't someone that he could make or not make money with. I thought he was fine. Mm-hmm. Nice enough. Certainly not the religious person that he is now, but for all a lot of negative things can be said about him about that era, but I found him to be, when he was around, when I'd see him around fans, he was excellent. In locker rooms I was in back then at the Old Garden. Nice enough guy. I remember him one time desperate to find toilet paper at the Old Garden. I guess he had to do one of Quincy's favorites, move his bowels.
Yeah, that's an interesting phrase, nice enough. Like, they're just nice enough. They weren't really a dick, but they're just nice enough. It's just...
No, maybe I'm not putting them over strong enough then.
Well, you know what it is?
I have nothing negative to say about any interaction I had with
Well, you know what it is? I've realized this. I think Duke the Dumpster, Josie, who wasn't able to appear with us, once said,
we hope Duke is doing well.
Hopefully. He said, someone asked him, oh, is so-and-so an asshole? And he said, it's the wrestling business. It's filled with assholes. It's just what level of asshole? But, it made me think about this at the show. I met so many different personalities, Dan, and it made me think about how I relate to people. And I'm very sensitive to people. I don't know if you know this about me.
I've picked that up on you.
Well, what I mean by
that Harvey said.
is besides that sensitivity, I'm very sensitive to how I hear people speak, their tone of voice, how they treat other people.
I can imagine what you think about my tone of voice.
A perfect example.
Mr. Barricade.
Sacco.
Yeah.
Sacco has a very monotone voice, sounds angry all the time, doesn't seem like a very pleasant person. I think Sacco seems like an asshole.
And the thing is, I just think it's his personality, because maybe it's because I know him so well.
But he's not a very warm person.
No,
he's almost. I was talking.
But I think he's a very good person.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I don't know him that well, but every time I talk to him, he seems like he's just a douche.
Well, you know what? I think sometimes people can confuse shyness for attitude.
But because he seems very. Like, I remember having the microphone, and he was like, I need the mic. Blah, 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 blah,
he didn't want to give it up. Just like Quincy.
Happy to start to go out, pack the bike.
Quincy, it's only 9:37.
I got to pack the bike.
Yeah.
That takes a while, then.
Who do you think's going to win this match, Quincy? Vader or Sting?
I'm going to say Sting.
Hard to say.
Who? Oh, it's hard to say.
Are you guys going to be here on Thanksgiving? Or?
Yeah, we're going to be here live.
I won't be here on Thanksgiving.
Why? What the hell do you have to do?
I have Thanksgiving.
At night.
At night,
family.
I got family.
Please.
I got family, Mirade.
This is the wrestling business,
The wrestling business. Oh, brother. Oh, am I going to get brother?
Do you want us live on Thanksgiving night? Let us hear.
Who else is going to be here?
Let us hear.
I would be happy to do the day before.
A Thanksgiving Eve special?
Yes.
But we'd be going head-to-head with Dynamite.
Oh, no one's going to watch Dynamite who watches us.
When's Thanksgiving? On Friday, right?
Thursday.
Matthew, my favorite pizza, I like either a cheese or a pepperoni with very light sauce. Very light sauce.
Maybe
if you'd like to call
get to come down.
If you'd like to call Domino's and send us one, I'll give you the studio address. I'm starving. I haven't eaten all day, and I got here I had to go box hunting first.
You need to eat more throughout the day.
Because I don't know if my good friend Teddy Piantapapalupagapas is watching. But he thought he was helping the cause a great deal by trying to Quincy, hold on a minute, brother.
I'm talking about.
Mr. Wonderful says Sacco insults the fans and has no patience. That might.
Are you going to be here on Thanksgiving Eve?
Yes.
Maybe Thanksgiving Eve.
I'll do Thanksgiving with Eve. No problem.
Oh, all right, fans. You heard it. We're going to be live on Wednesday next week watching Starrcade 93.
Okay. Do you want to do a November to Remember somewhere?
The fans really didn't suggest either way.
Okay, whatever you want to do.
Phil said he's going to bring a pecan pie. I'm sure Quincy would enjoy a free pecan pie.
Monday or Tuesday, does that work better for you out of those 3 days?
We're going to do Sunday. Oh, I don't know if we may do Survivor Series, I think, Sunday.
Well, wait, I thought you're going to Brooklyn.
I mean, I don't want to go.
I didn't want to go. I can't watch their show. I can't watch their shows from the television now.
Why?
Every time I watch WWE,
Oh, you mean from an enjoyment point of view?
I can't enjoy it.
I see. Well, it's one of their marquee events. The fans love to.
Have a good night. I've had to wait and see what happens on Thanksgiving Eve. All right.
Well, I was going to say, if you want to do, so you're saying you're going to be here Sunday. It sounds like.
I think so.
And then you want to do Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday?
I think Sunday and Wednesday would be the way to shoot.
Okay.
Not like the way Quincy shoots when he gets in the mood.
The only thing about Wednesdays, I might have to prepare something, but I'll just to see.
You have to prepare something?
Well, I don't know.
What are you going to prepare?
My mother might want me around to help her with stuff.
I was going in a different direction.
Everyone have a good holiday.
Okay.
It's coming up.
All right.
Dan, any news on if the releases I read are true? Brian, who did you hear is being released?
Have a good Thanksgiving.
You as well.
Quincy, you're going to see him the day before Thanksgiving.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Are you going to get more free Starbucks cups from the pantry?
I don't know.
Maybe. Are you going to try and go to another pantry and get another turkey?
No, that's it.
That's just one.
Could you imagine him walking with one turkey under each arm on Thanksgiving Day? Not even cooked. They're just...
Well, his former nemesis, Reno Chastain, once got three. 3 turkeys. Not
He's
one,
not my foreman.
not
I have nothing to do
2,
with him.
but 3.
He's not my foreman. That had nothing to do with him.
Did you see Quincy Saturday night at the event? His nephew, Mickey Lee Chastain, wrestled.
No more about freaking Chastains.
Did you talk to Mickey Lee Chastain?
I don't know any Chastains.
Oh, you know some Chastains.
No
he
more,
hates,
though. I
he
promise.
hates the Chastains.
What did they do to you?
I don't want to get into it.
They were
okay?
calling his house.
They're calling your house.
I don't want to get into it.
They come through your back door?
Drop it. Drop it.
It's a very sensitive subject.
Drop it.
They were
Okay.
sending mail to his house.
Drop it.
Quincy had to go to the post office very angry
Hey,
Anyway, have a good night.
good night.
with your free Starbucks cup. Farewell to Quincy Rastani, who made this almost a non-Starrcade watch along as we enjoy it on WWE Network. Vader and Sting competing for I don't know how many times that night. It's stupid to me that they just
Did they do a Battle Bowl concept for 93 Starrcade or that?
no.
I know
they-
94. If we
And
get to
actually,
that.
believe it or not, they almost tried to go head to head with Vince with the concept you came up with. Battle Bowl was on the Sunday, and Survivor Series was live at the Boston Garden on Thanksgiving Eve on the Wednesday. And WWF kept saying, when you call your cable company, stress that it's the World Wrestling Federation Survivor Series that you want to order. Because they didn't want people to get the cable company confused.
Right.
Battle Bowl and Survivor Series that weren't hip to the blade.
Well, was WCW at this point? They were number 2, obviously, but were they even making? What was their most successful pay-per-view at this point? I'm not
Who?
sure. For WCW, for their
Most successful pay-per-view at this point?
up to 93, 94. I guess 94 was Hogan. When Hogan came in, I'd imagine.
Yeah. But that's a very interesting question. I really don't know.
I mean, 93. Well, actually, we'll see the return. We'll see this man in 93, certainly.
Oh,
Vader.
yeah.
'Cause he plays a big part in that show. Got Quincy Rastani. I hope he'll be okay on the bike. It's getting cooler out now. Well, tonight's actually fairly warm. I think this is the main event. I could be wrong, but I think this is the actual last match of the evening. Well, even though you call it the main event the most featured match, I believe this is the main event and the featured match in the last match.
Let me text someone to see if this is true. There may have been another mass firing.
Really? From WWE?
And speaking of the devil, hold on one sec.
Jeez, Vader's really laying it in here on Sting.
Wow, Brian, I think you may be onto something.
Oh, Sting, look at the hard camera, Sting.
Wow, I guess Johnny Ace had a busy day.
Let go a lot of people? Who did he let go of?
Let me see. I want to see if there's anything online about it. But this is someone that would know. Well, if there are any fans of WWE, I'm blown away yet again. Well, whoops. Let me just send one more text before I don't want to say something out of tone, that may be wrong. Yeah, I'm told this is true. Are you ready for some blockbusters, Charlie?
I'm ready.
John Morrison out.
Okay.
Hit Row is out. And I really saw a great...
Who is Hit Row?
That is Isaiah Swerve Scott, the former Shane Strickland. Ashante Adonis in Top Dollar, Tegan Knox, Drake Maverick, Shane Thorne, who was part of that awful Retribution gimmick, and Jackson Riker, who was, they tried to realign him with Elias. He made that horrible tweet.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly even what it was now last year, and it led to the release. Remember, they almost had that. I can't think of the word. Remember that gimmick they brought in right around Empty Arena Performance Center Raw and SmackDowns?
Not particularly.
No.
They had the
He's gone.
Well, why are they releasing people if they've had record?
Well, they
profits?
said budgets. I don't know what. There must be an awfully small budget.
Unless they're trying to sell contracts to a different company.
I tell you, on that list, I would love to see Morrison in Boston Wrestling. I would love to see
fantastic.
Isaiah Swerve Scott in Boston Wrestling.
Well,
Shane Strickland.
I mean, John Morrison, first of all, hasn't really aged much over the last 10 years. He looks great still.
For a 40-plus-year-old guy, he's older than me. What an insult to him.
Well, he looks great. But I don't know. I think, again, they say, record year again for WWE, but then they release 10 people.
Well, Sting has become the king of cable, whatever the hell that means.
Sweating so hard his flat top fell down.
That was a very good match. I'm just very surprised now that I'm actually looking at it online now. Wow. It's unbelievable. You know, there's one more person I got to text. It's good to know people because then at least, you know, you're getting accurate information.
Vader did so many moves off the top. What do you think about? Are you surprised? I'm not even. Is that sad that I'm not surprised anymore about those names? It used to be. Remember, but back years ago when you saw 6 or 7 names, it was like a big deal.
Canned, you mean?
Yes.
Who do they want to have? They're going to have no one left.
That might be the reason. I mean,
they could be me and you working dark matches on SmackDown.
Who are they going to keep to the end? Sasha Banks and Roman Reigns?
I really thought Hit Row had potential.
Karrion Kross?
Maybe, you know what? I'll say this. This is what I'll say. Maybe Hit Row was better off in NXT.
I think a lot of
but what are you going to do with NXT?
But,
I mean,
well, think about this. Karrion Kross and Keith Lee were their 2 most interesting people 6 months ago, and now they're gone.
I wonder if Teddy Piantapapalupagapis has got the news.
Oh, gosh. Teddy Piantapapalupagapis.
What a great guy, though, to come up from Orlando and give us a hand.
Is that how you pronounce it? Teddy
Piantapapalupagapis.
Piantapapalupagapis.
I think.
You have to sing it like a dance. Teddy Piantapapalupagapis.
I thought I had a long last name.
Dan Mirade. Yes.
Well, the whole version.
Frangilo?
We don't talk about that. No, we don't know that.
Okay.
That doesn't exist.
Teddy Piantapapalupagapis. Teddy.
You dined with the man.
I did dine with the man. I was between.
At Applebee's.
This is the people. Imagine this is Charlie's Sandwich. Captain Lou and Cena Jr., Little Cena Sr. Oh, God, there's another match. Jeez, I forgot.
Yeah, Battle Bowl.
I thought that was the main event, but
yeah, surprise, surprise.
I guess so.
Well, interesting to see if any of these gentlemen wind up in NXT, AEW. I know I would go after Morrison and Scott. Do you have any?
I'd say Morrison. I haven't seen enough of Shane Strickland or Isaiah Scott in this case. What does he look like? Is he a big guy, small guy?
See, I think that's part of the problem why he didn't fit WWE television. He's not a big guy by any stretch of the imagination. but he'd fit in with what we do perfectly if he goes the indie route for a little while.
Well,
I'd love to try and make a play for him for Soul Survivor. Would he be available? Yeah. What's it? November. So even if he's 90 day, December, January, yeah.
Well, I mean, have you worked with him before?
I've met him. I don't know him personally.
Older guy, younger guy?
No, he's probably
30s,
early 30s, if that old. But I just big fan of his work.
What about him? Do that?
Morrison, I made a play for in the past, but it was mucho dinero. You know what? I got to text another friend in WWE. I love to get the scoops.
You do. You like it, like going to an ice cream parlor, getting all those scoops.
I almost feel like a news reporter when there's breaking news, because if I'm going to say it, I want to make sure it's true, or it's at least comes from a quote unquote source or a person that's in the know. As far as what's on Twitter and wrestling websites, I have to take it with a grain of salt. Who the hell was I forgot who I was going to message. You distracted me, you son of a bitch.
I know, I'm very distracted.
But now I'm kind of... Cena Sr. and I did an episode, I think is tomorrow Friday?
Yes.
I'm so tired. This event should be over, and I'm so behind as a result of it. But we do an interesting episode about releases last night. Why would you release Morrison?
Were they doing anything with him? I saw him.
He was active on TV, if nothing else. I would have imagined at some point because they love to break up every tag team. Him and Miz would have split, and it would have led to a Miz and Morrison.
They did split.
Match. They did?
They did a few months back, and that's all I saw.
They did?
Yeah, Miz attacked Morrison.
Miz attacked Morrison?
Yes, this happened a few months back.
I must have missed that one. Is he right, guys? Is there anyone that watches WWE anymore?
I don't watch it
on this show.
Wow, they really went back to Vader. Look, Vader's right out there.
See what I mean? Why was it? It's just, even with Bill Watts in charge, it's like, what the F?
Watts.
No, Brian Duffy went to the. Maybe I should have went to the WWE website, Brian.
And Sting's back out.
Horrible presentation.
Makes Vader and Sting look like a couple of jabrones, definitely. Oh, Vader's attacking Sting.
I'm trying to get scoops for you guys. The super chat's open, baby. It's been awfully quiet. The stomach is grumbling. I've been working all day to try and give you guys great content. The watch along. In 6 minutes, Marty Jannetty, Party with Marty, kicks off with a wild episode. Give us some love. Come on, guys. If you guys don't help with the Indiegogo and the super chats, the Marty Jannetty show is going bye-bye. Bye-bye. C'est la vie. Ciao. Adios. Stick a fork in it. We don't want Marty to go. We had such a great time with him. At least this year, Battle Bowl is in one ring.
Now, Drake Maverick, is he going to make another video crying and come back that way?
I always, what the problem with him was, they tried to do two different gimmicks with him at the same time. He was the commissioner of 205 Live, and he was managing the Authors of Pain. They did a horrendous angle with him. I believe it was at Survivor Series 2000 and something or other in Los Angeles, where Big Show grabbed him and he peed himself. Talk about castration city. He would wrestle at times. He was running around in the cruiserweight nonsense. Just, I actually ran into him. We were at the same hotel. It was the Royal Rumble in Houston. And we have a mutual friend. So I spoke to him for 2 or 3 minutes, but very nice guy. Just as far as his presentation.
Small man.
I couldn't believe how
Smaller
small.
than Captain Lou?
Because he was kind of getting off the elevator as I was going on.
Okay.
And I was surprised at how small he was. But like I said, we had a mutual friend and we spoke for a minute. Very nice guy, very polite guy, just not someone that I'd be interested in booking. You know what I mean?
Any reason for that? The presentation?
No credibility as far as the size goes.
Yeah.
I don't think his work makes up for it. I think the way the national companies presented him like a moron. Is there any fan out there watching right now that says, Dan Mirade, you're an idiot if Boston Wrestling doesn't try and book Drake Maverick? Like I said, of that list, there's two that I'm really interested in. Oh, please keep us up to date on the Patriots score. I forgot about that they were playing tonight. Patriots up 13-0 in the third. Wow. They're really starting to make a run for it. I think they'll be 7-4 if they win tonight.
Okay, I thought they were 6-4 right now.
Yeah. So if they win tonight, 7-4. They could really be in the hunt. The AFC, there's really no one standing out too much.
Browns.
They could have a chance.
Steelers, nothing.
I think Tennessee.
Bills,
home of Mickey Lee Chastain.
Speaking of the Chastains, you think Quincy's gone
Quincy did not like that.
No, he did not.
He has quite a history.
Mickey Lee was there
with the Chastains.
Yes.
Him and Reno Chastain, their vendetta, wrestling wishes they could create a feud that had that much heat. Rastani and Chastain was that was heat, brother.
Quincy is something else, isn't he? Oh, look, Mood and Sting are hugging it out.
I really would like to see Quincy in a battle royal.
We could make that happen.
We could.
Who would you like to see in your your ideal battle royal? I've got a few people I'd like to see from here.
Since we had one the other night in honor of Franklin D. Churchill, I think it should be quite a while before we have another one.
Let me ask you, a tag team of Captain Lou and Quincy. Do you think that would be?
These are the staff. I don't think we really need in the squared circle. Quincy has been a goodwill ambassador for us since 2002, believe it or not.
Well, maybe, I don't know, fans, depending on who Dan Mirade can book for the show, maybe I'll be in the squared circle on April the 16th.
I would highly doubt it.
Oh, okay.
You're going to be a very busy man that weekend. Oh, I didn't even tell you another one of the issues we ran into.
Should you tell me now, or are you going to wait?
I'll text it to you.
Oh, fantastic. Is it a big issue or like a little Kleenex issue? Just text it to me.
Just a headache.
Is it about a person or a thing?
A thing.
Okay. You know what the problem with the battle royals are too sometimes is it gets a little sloppy. It's hard to follow along. It gets kind of boring. Like this is just a bunch of
Is this rude to do this to the fans?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's rude. You know, you gotta admit, even though WCW was having some issues, look at the amount of talent in here. You got Vader, Sting, Muta, Dustin Rhodes. You had Barry Windham and Dr. Death. Van Hammer wasn't that great, and Danny Spivey had seen better days, but it was.
All right. Back to the action, ladies and gentlemen, as we're talking football releases. Look at that bulldog on the ramp. JR's going nuts about it. I wonder what Piggott would think if we did that at Memorial Hall on the stage. She'd probably charge us a fee. She loves to charge
She
fees.
was kind of odd. She didn't really communicate. She really didn't seem to talk to people that much. She kind of moved between camps.
The problem with Piggott is I think she knew that there were a lot of eyes on her.
You don't think she acted as her true self?
No. Not from the reactions that I heard that she was given to people. Piggott knew she had to be on her best behavior, or it was going to be all over City Hall Human Resources on Monday. She was investigated for harassing the disabled.
What?
Yes.
She was harassing the disabled?
Harassing Piggott, was under investigation from City Hall.
What was she doing specifically?
It's a 13-year battle with Piggott.
That you've had? Or this? When's the first time you met her? Do you remember the first day you met
I do. She ordered me, didn't ask me. She ordered me to the building, not knowing what my life schedule was, to discuss the fireworks and pyrotechnics that were going to be going off at the event.
Were there going to be
No, we have never. I would probably blow Memorial Hall up. It's so old if we ever had pyrotechnics.
How old is that building?
Over 100 years old.
Yeah, it had to be what, maybe 1910 or 19 over that. Probably.
They sold Christmas ornaments the year it turned 100.
Wow.
So I don't know. Does anyone out there have a Memorial Hall 100th anniversary Christmas
I would not be
ornament
surprised
on their
if it's 120, 130 years old. That could be from the 1800s.
I would say probably not even $1.10.
Okay.
But they had wrestling and boxing back in the 30s and 40s there.
It's a very cool building.
It's a nice venue. It's aging, much like Piggott. But
those old buildings have character.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's not a bad seat in the house.
I mean, think about the old Garden or Madison Square Garden, how that was back in the day.
Well, I wouldn't compare it to MSG, but
well, Boston Garden even.
A challenge. Let me catch up here. Luger was gone at this point, Pulsar. He was in the WBF waiting to be able to
just about to debut
wrestle in WWF, where he debuted at Royal Rumble 93. I think just on camera.
Yep, and then Heenan was talking about how great his body was. But yeah, no, he was about to
probably
debut.
Say the same thing about you when he saw you in the tank top.
Probably.
Dan with Drake Maverick, Brian, he couldn't use Drake Maverick outside of WWE. That's a WWE owned name.
They used him in they used him as Rockstar Spud in TNA, and he was
he could use. Yeah, TNA doesn't care.
I did not mind him in TNA. I thought that was probably the best role for him in some ways.
Al's got a great story about him. Al has a great story about the booking of him in TNA, which just shows how ridiculous TNA was.
And again, he's not an old guy.
I'd rather have Al tell it in one of our interviews.
Probably mid-30s, I'd guess, if I had to guess age.
I'm trying to think of how old our mutual friend is. Well, he started kind of young. Yeah, I'd probably say early to mid-30s if I was going to put down a buck.
I'd probably put 35.
I'd say 32 to 35.
He was EC3, which is another guy who's is he still out there, EC3?
He's alive.
Well, I mean, is he doing anything?
He's in Ring of Honor.
Well, no.
He's out. Yeah, I'm going to bite my tongue.
Would you ever want to bring him in, potentially?
Oh, we've spoken many times about him coming in.
Just never connected the dots.
Trouble. We came up with an idea about the Carters and the Cenas.
Oh God, how are those two?
No, honestly, and I was very interested in the concept. Really great guy. I think, as I've noted, I think I said in an interview with Johnny, this is a guy that should be main eventing Raw or SmackDown right now, and instead he's released. Just like Andrade.
That's the problem.
How did you fuck the two of them up?
I'm going to give you this. This is a problem with wrestling. And WWE, when you think that you have a guy that you could really like, they could be gone tomorrow.
They just brought Hit Row in when they did the draft. Why bother to put them on national television for 6 weeks? Then just get rid of them. I mean, if you have them in developmental and you say either A, okay, they're ready to go, or B, they're not for our company, so they're going to go. Mm-hmm. Why put them on one of the main brands?
And why do you keep who you keep?
What's that now?
And why would you keep whoever you kept? They didn't release certain people, but like, for example, are we at a point where like some of these people have been there for a long time? Are we at a point where
Drake Maverick is 38 apparently?
Oh wow,
according to Matthew.
But like, are we at the point where like Bailey needs to stay around longer? Oh. Are we at the point where I like him, but Chad Gable, does he need to stay around longer?
I love Chad.
I love him, but they're not doing anything with him. They never do anything.
No, they're giving him a bit of a push
right now.
Yeah, him and Otis are getting a pretty decent push on Raw, so we can go. They've repackaged that guy in so many different ways with so many people. It's ridiculous, but it looks like we're down to the final two.
Gosh, Wyndham looks rough.
Bloody Barry Windham looks like maybe got a kick in the mouth or the nose, and the Great Muta. from the land of the rising sun, who I wish was with WCW longer. I always enjoyed Muta. Obviously, I mean, I can't imagine there were too many people that didn't, but
I think that's Pat.
I wonder if Muta is bloodied or if that's just the reminiscence of his face paint. Now, have they changed the rules? Is it turned into a singles match at the end now?
I think now
I don't
it's a
know why the
singles
referee
match.
would be in the ring.
Because I remember
otherwise.
last year we had Rude and Sting, and ended up with those two guys wrestling, and they actually had a pinfall.
Oh, did they?
With Sting,
I
yes.
don't
with
even
Sting
remember.
winning.
Shows how much I remember from the watch.
I don't know,
along.
because now it's like that's what it was last year, but now it's different. Because I guess Muta won't go out.
Now, Paul, I think I've mentioned before, Muta's, I think that body is hurting now. When I met him at the
now it is
the green room at one of the WrestleCons. But you talk about a guy that made big money at WrestleCon.
This guy?
Oh, I mean, it was a very rare appearance to get him over from Japan.
What I love about Muta is the way he moves. Very unique. How he moved around, how he wrestled, how he sold. It was very unique about everything about him.
But I tell you this, fans, we need your help with Marty on the Indiegogo. But beyond that, we're also have the Paul Bearer toy drive at the same time. So it's like we're pleading for everything. We're pushing too much at this point.
Well,
plus tickets are on sale for fans that were with us live on November 13th for the Back to the 80s show.
Oh,
so here we are hustling and soliciting. As the great Muta becomes, I don't know if it's the Battle Bowl champion or
I think he is.
The Battle Bowl something or other.
Last, I mean, was it? Oh, are the rules you can win by pinfall or submission or over the top at this point?
I can't hear enough of the commentary.
Was this what she was thinking of when you at the for the fireworks at Memorial Hall?
I think that's what Piggott was. I couldn't see the roof cave in. WrestleCade is next weekend. Does everyone get a good payday at WrestleCon type events? Stone Roses, it all depends. Sometimes WrestleCon books people for X amount of dollars. There are vendors that rent booths like what we do. The wrestlers, sometimes they get X amount. Sometimes they do a split 50-50. It's always different. I'm looking forward. Hopefully we can do it in Dallas. I'm big on doing the Wrestle House concept. At the same time, Baby Mirade wants to take in all of the WWE WrestleMania endeavors. So it's going to be an interesting week. I'm not quite sure how we're going to set it up quite yet. Maybe the stuff we can do. I'm trying to think of WWE's schedule. The Hall of Fame has not been announced, but I imagine they'd probably do that on Thursday. No takeover, which I think is sad because those takeovers were great. But I also love the idea that WrestleMania is a 2-day concept. I think it makes it so much easier to sit through 2 really good shows back-to-back days as opposed to one long 8-hour show.
You know what? I this isn't exactly WrestleMania, but I just found out this coming year, SummerSlam is going to be July 30th.
It's the first time it's never been in August.
What is that about?
Because they are trying to go the route for the 30th anniversary of SummerSlam 92. Labor Day weekend, they're going to do a mega show in England at a football/soccer stadium.
Really?
Yeah.
What are they going to call that? They don't want to call that.
I don't know.
They should call that SummerSlam.
You'd think.
Yeah.
But they figure they can hustle a stadium show in the United States for SummerSlam and hustle a big European stadium show.
Basically pull a Quincy.
And July 4th weekend, they're doing Money in the Bank at the football stadium in Vegas. They got a lot of stadium shows lined up this year.
That's their future, I think.
Stadium shows? You got Rumble is in St. Louis. That's at a stadium. WrestleMania, you get back-to-back nights at a football stadium.
Well,
they got Providence in May.
It sounds
pay-per-view.
It sounds to me like they're going to eventually get out of shows like arenas and just do like X amount of stadium shows.
Where there's such little interest, I hate to say it, but such little interest in the pay-per-views, that might be the way to go. So you got those two. So you got Rumble, the 2 WrestleManias. July 4th weekend, you have Vegas.
Do they do 2
for
Rumble
Money
shows?
in the Bank.
They're just doing one.
What's that?
Are you doing 2 Rumble shows or one?
Just one.
Okay.
July 4th, as I said, Vegas for Money in the Bank. End of July, Nashville for SummerSlam. The European show in Labor Day weekend. You have the 2 shows in Saudi Arabia in stadiums in February and October. And then Survivor Series for the very first time is going to be on a Saturday night here in Boston next November.
A Saturday night.
Saturday night.
At the Garden.
At the Garden.
You think that will do well? Really
you'd like to think. But we've had 3 Survivor Series in Boston, 93, 08, and 13, and they all sucked, in my opinion.
As shows or just with the crowds?
No, the shows.
Okay. Did they do well?
I thought it was hilarious. Quincy had his photo taken with one of the highest ranking officials of the company. And he had on, I don't know where he got it, he had on this court jester's hat with little bells on it. I'll have to see if I can find the picture. It's adorable. In other news, WWE just inked a deal with Buff Bagwell. Now, in what planet did you read that?
Whoa, my boy? They inked a deal
Calm
with
down.
him?
I don't want you to...
Polite myself.
Brian, are you and Choo Choo going on one of those packages to WrestleMania? Well, fans, we had a hell of a time watching Starrcade 92, even if we didn't talk about it all that much. We will be doing a Starrcade 93 watch along next Wednesday night live because someone doesn't want to come down on Thursday. I'm committed. Well, I should be committed anyway for the amount of time that I put into this, but
and poor Buff just had his mom pass away. So
we talk about that on Wrestling Insider's Fabulous Fridays.
Unfortunately,
I don't know if Johnny ever got
Did you ever
Judy,
meet Buff? Ever meet Bagwell?
That was around for that disaster. That was the last month I was in the company.
Did you meet him at all?
Oh yeah.
What was he like?
Prick.
Really? What was it about him?
I'm better than everybody on the planet, even though I really was never over in WCW.
He was over.
To who? Himself?
He was pretty over at times.
Yeah, well,
he was a mid-card guy, but he was a solid mid-card guy. I don't know. I like... Actually, want to hear a funny story? There's a clip I saw of him with Luger on this podcast.
Uh-huh.
And the title of it was called Scott Steiner's Heart Attack Over Low Testosterone. So Scott Steiner, I guess, had a heart issue not too long ago.
Yeah, I think it was.
And I'm like, I'm going to click on this. It's a minute and a half. And Bagwell starts off, he says, I just got a call from Scotty Steiner who had a heart attack. And he said, my testosterone level was 4. Not like 300 or 400. It was a 4. The number 4, that was his testosterone level. It was that low. And he said, testosterone is really important for your body to regulate your sleep, to regulate your hormonal structure, all that. And Luger stops him like 30 seconds in and goes, well, thanks, Mark, for letting everyone know about Scott Steiner's personal medical information. We really appreciate that. And everyone just stops. The host starts laughing. Luger starts laughing. Bagwell kind of cracks up at it. It was pretty funny. And God, what the hell is on the back of Ventura's head? Is that weird? He had shaved his head, but he still had that weird ponytail in the back. Ventura.
We're not talking about that.
But no, he said, thanks for letting everyone know about Scott's medical information.
Are you talking? I think you're talking about this right now.
Yes.
No. That doesn't exist right now.
Okay.
That exists on Wednesday.
Okay.
But don't forget, fans, right now, if you're on the YouTube channel, go back to the main channel. The Party with Marty is ongoing. The story that Marty tells about Native American Tatanka as he's debuting, and a wild story about a wife. And it is must-see TV, as we like to say. Let me just put the post up real quick, and then let's see.
Oh, Vader wearing his mask and his Ribera.
I don't know why you're talking about something we're going to be watching on Wednesday, sir. Share the link. Join the chat. Marty is out of... This was a wild Marty one. Phil's in there right now. Poor Marty. He was in rough shape on this day, and he had an autograph signing he had the next day. Wrestling Insiders. So tell us, fans, what did you think of Starrcade 92 if you're still with us? On a scale of 1 to 10.
I'll give it a 6.
Buff Bagwell is running a GoFundMe for the funeral expenses for Judy for $30,000. Are they trying to get her a gold casket or?
Sounds like Quincy.
Quincy would try and hustle a free one of those wooden ones that they they put him in the oven.
What do you expect more? His ability to his desire to hustle, or to not stop until he succeeds in the hustling?
The desire is always interests me. I mean, he is a master hustler.
Is he the biggest hustler you know?
Oh no, not in this business. But for him to go around getting turkeys and at Shaw's, I've seen him literally crawling on the floor looking for boxes of Cheez-Its that are damaged, so he can bring them to the service desk and try and get a discount. Swear to God.
Does he really?
Yeah. They hate him.
Does he sometimes try to damage them on purpose?
No, he's an honest man. He wouldn't do that.
He's honest.
But he will look for just about wow, look at a young Charlotte right there.
Before she was
the face work.
Before she was enhanced.
Yes.
Was that Flair's second? We're not talking about that, Mirade. We're not talking about that.
What?
About what we're seeing on the screen?
Oh, yeah. And who crossed the line? I did the same thing.
Well,
wow, what a major difference, though.
Yeah, gosh, he's not even around anymore, that poor guy. I met him once.
Who?
Flair's youngest son, Reed.
Oh, really?
Well, I did a seminar with Flair, and he was there.
Oh, I remember hearing about that. How was the seminar?
It was good. It was good.
Did he give you any useful information?
I locked up with him and went into a headlock takeover.
With Nage?
Yeah. And you know what? It's one of those things where at the time I did not appreciate Flair as much as I do now.
You didn't appreciate Flair?
I appreciate it, but not as much as you get older and you look back and really take into what he did, And I remember kind of feeling like when you get in the ring with him, it's kind of like a weird thing where I would tell pro wrestling is a polytheistic religion, Dan Mirade, and he's one of the high gods.
He's one of the what?
The highest gods.
Oh, without a doubt.
Some people have him as the greatest of all time, and he's got an argument for it. I wouldn't give it to him, but he's up there.
Fans, we're looking for what you thought on SummerSlam.
Flair, why are you wearing that?
Starrcade 93. Starrcade 92. We'll be watching Starrcade 93 live next Wednesday night. And at this point, unfortunately, I'm expecting us to be watching Survivor Series live from here, as I thought I was going. As WWE was kind enough to give me tickets. I'm just mentally and physically exhausted.
Oh, you don't want to watch Survivor Series 92? You want to watch the new Survivor
I think we should watch the live one, yeah.
All right.
That usually draws a really good crowd when we do that.
Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe fans enjoy the live atmosphere as opposed to tuning into something.
Wasn't it Roman and Big E?
Big E. I wonder who's going to go over on that one.
With a non-title match?
I think they're all non-title matches, which is another reason why nobody cares.
Oh, God.
I just, you know what? My back, my hips, my feet, my CRPS, my work schedule, the productions I'm trying to give to you folks. Again, the Super Chat button is open. If you've enjoyed the great content tonight, we had a lot of fun. Nitro was in Boston a couple of times. Yep. It was the first one in June of 97 was actually going to be a Tony Rumble event, where Commissioner Von Johnson was working with the Cam Neely House, and they wanted to do a wrestling fundraiser at the Garden. And Tony was smart enough to realize that we might fill 2 sections. So he talked to his longtime close personal friend, Kevin Sullivan, and it became the first WCW Nitro. They also had a Nitro, I believe it was on my birthday in 1998 when I met the Hulkster for the first time.
Where was this?
Boston.
Oh, wow.
They had 2 Nitros in Boston. They had a house show in Boston. They had one house show that drew a great crowd, In January of 98, they did a rematch from Starrcade with Sting and Hogan. And they did another house show in 99 that wasn't very successful. I remember one of the referees gave us tickets.
Did they
to
run
that.
Worcester? WCW?
They did a September of 97 Nitro. I think the main event was like Mr. Perfect against the Giant, which was, but the tickets were free.
Well,
even in WCW, they took good care of us. If you guys could share the link to Party with Marty, I would appreciate it. Let me tell you, the story in this one, off the rails.
Should we end it here, Mr. Mirade?
I just want to put the post up on Facebook because we want to get as many fans engaged.
Do you want me to go do the big?
I want you to take it home, baby.
I'll take it home.
You got to wait for me to get in the other room.
No. I'll get a big spiel going.
All right.
Well, we'll be here Sunday for the plan. The tentative plan is Sunday for Survivor Series 2021 live, and then you'll have a Wednesday show, which would be Starrcade 93, and we'll be doing that. And then I believe out of those two shows, it's funny. We're just talking about WWE. I'm probably looking forward more to Starrcade 93 than Survivor Series 2021.
I don't have high expectations. Johnny and I, Friday night, we do a Survivor Series preview, and I give my shots on that tomorrow night. Yes, you're right, Joe. Slamboree 98 was in May of 98, and that was at the Worcester Centrum too. So you guys be with us live for Survivor Series on Sunday. If you have nothing cooking, no pun intended, with all those turkeys out there. If you got nothing cooking Thanksgiving Eve, you know where to be, baby. We're going to be watching Starrcade 93. I pass the baton to MWF Associate Director.
Oh.
Mr. Charles Wilson.
Associate Director.
Associate Director of the company.
Well,
that's a hell of a term.
Yeah,
I don't know what it means, but
it sounds important.
It's very impressive, if nothing else.
Well, I wish I was as important as, say, someone like Teddy Piantapupalopagopoulos.
Piantapapalupagopoulos.
I'll have to study that word, but ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Almost like his last name is almost like a language.
It is. It's like the Galapagos Islands. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us. I'm Charlie Wilson. He's Dan Mirade. We were formerly joined with Quincy Rastani. Have a good one, everybody.